I'm playing.
Jake,
it's probably
you're
somehow on.
Coming to learn that, hey, push comes to shove, bud. I do the same thing too. Just blame Colbert. It's a tale as old
Easy
as
way
time.
out.
It always works as well. Yeah,
Are you
yes, it
excited
is.
for some day baseball at Werner Park today, gents?
Oh, I am thrilled. I am so thrilled. You know what? I might make my my run at Nick Batter's job today. I don't know. Maybe I go ahead and announce an inning or two to really show off my chops.
Who's going to do your
you
job?
Never know. Josh does my job every day to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
you get to see
Jacob
Jacob Wilson today on rehab. He's leading off for the Las Vegas Aviators.
Is Jacob is the Las Vegas Aviators? Are they the athletics? Triple H,
which is going to be really awkward here in a couple of years.
Yeah,
yeah. Where are they playing? Are they playing at the same place that the Oakland A's are playing?
They're playing. The Aviators are playing at the park that the A's are playing at right now. At this very moment, the A's are building their own park on the strip
this week. Have you guys been paying attention to those games?
Yeah, they're very high scoring.
Many dongs.
It's a Coors, yeah. It's
Dongtown.
Coors West or something.
Maybe they get the humidor going in over by MGM Grand.
You remember Chase before the humidor, where you would get those just wild, weird scores and everything else?
Great times.
Pretty good.
They put a humidor in Chase Stadium. I didn't know this.
They have it's for the baseballs. It's they put the baseballs.
Not for the cigars like you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't guys, I don't know my ass or my elbow.
Matt's like, I gotta go to a Diamondbacks.
They don't make the whole stadium a humidor. They put the baseballs in there.
You want me to go to more baseball games? Just have a cigar bar, I am way more likely to go to baseball games if there was a cigar bar there as opposed to there not being one. That and slot machines. You know what? If they put a blackjack table at Wrigley Field, I think I'd be there an inhumane amount.
Okay.
Inhumane, huh? I think they are probably going to have
legalities of that.
They're probably going to have a blackjack table at the new A's stadium would be my guess. Somewhere in the ballpark you'll be able to play table games. I mean,
you'll probably have slot machines at every seat.
Right?
It's on the Vegas Strip. Yeah, that's the whole deal.
That'd be crazy if you can play baccarat, during the baseball game.
Now,
just peeling back the cards.
Can Quiet Vegas have professional sports teams? Is this a concern for the future of Quiet Vegas?
Ooh, great question. I am the vice president of Quiet Vegas. The president is Connor Happer.
How do you feel about that?
I delegate to you. Are we allowing pro sports teams in our Vegas utopia?
Yes, because I believe that would divert some attention to the stadiums, therefore clear more foot traffic on the casinos and / strip.
I couldn't agree more. I think Quiet Vegas, though, I am a part of the delegation that would like to push to have like a tennis major at Quiet Vegas. I feel like that would fit the vibe of Quiet Vegas.
Wouldn't a golf major make more sense?
Or
just
a big
golf
golf
event?
tournament. I don't think we could break into the golf majors. I think we could break into the tennis majors, but I would say a big golf event.
You do? Do you think you can break into the tennis major?
You think you can get a tennis major?
Tennis
for 100 years?
I definitely could. We definitely could put in. Who cares about Vegas? Or who cares about
I
tennis?
thought Connor was overly confident.
Who
Look
cares
at
about
you.
tennis? I don't care about tennis. I just put a ton of money into a Vegas event and it'll naturally become a major.
Golf, which plays at different courses for the U.S. Open. Whereas U.S. Open and tennis plays at one specific course
for decades,
area.
Generations. Yeah.
But Matt is going
You're
to.
telling me that if we gave the winner of our Quiet Vegas Tennis Open, if we gave the winner like $20 million, it wouldn't become.
It wouldn't
be
a slam.
Well, it'd be a big event. It would be like what the champions.
Be a big event.
You could be the 5th major of tennis.
Oh wow!
Tennis,
see, that's what I think.
Tennis
Quiet
needs a 5th
Vegas
major.
Needs. There you go.
You had a great chance
Tennis
to be
needs
the
a lot of
PGA
things.
Championship because nobody cared about that. But
exactly.
Now you're the 5th major for tennis,
which is even worse than golf.
I think that'd be. I mean, but it's perfect for Quiet Vegas. Quiet Vegas will have a lot of people in their elder years who like to play.
I still think golf is more quiet than
the
tennis.
only major for pickleball.
Oh, there you go. And put it way off. Put it way.
A lot of people your age are playing pickleball, Matt.
Yeah, they're losers. Play a real sport,
They think you can't physically handle the demands of pickleball if you're broken down
or
body.
go and play beer league hockey. Play a man's sport. Don't play pickleball running around the little concrete court. With your little paddle. I mean, you're barely getting any fitness.
This is so weird. What is happening right now? Why is he doing this?
Barely any fitness.
Yeah.
What? What am I doing? What?
The guy who can barely walk because he got hurt playing softball.
You would get absolutely smoked at pickleball.
I would love
and
to
over.
I'm sure I would. I don't care.
So you can't just say I don't care. You just
forever.
denigrated the sport consistently for like the last 2 minutes.
It's a joke sport. It's a joke sport. It's a little kindergartner.
You would be
kindergarten would beat you.
You would be physically manhandled in pickleball. You would absolutely be sweating. You would probably have
the world's best kindergartner at pickleball would beat Matt in straight set.
That is not true.
I was going to ask, what is the youngest and what is the oldest person that would beat Matt in
an 85-year-old pickleball star would crush Matt.
That is not true. They barely can move. I'm still an athlete. All right. I got a couple years.
Add this to the silent auction list. Play Matt in pickleball.
I mean, I would say like a 50-year-old could get me in pickleball for sure. Anything other than that, no. Maybe like 55 would be the max. And I don't think any 10-year-old can beat me in
I
any
cannot
sport.
wait for the senior open pickleball people to line up to destroy you.
Other than swimming, because I'm not great at swimming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I grew up I was a lake kid, but my parents couldn't give me swimming lessons, and I've suffered dearly.
Okay,
he's a lake kid who
not
spend his time on the boat.
You got to give your kids swimming lessons.
You do not at all understand the physical demands of pickleball. They would be rigorous and intense, and you may have a cardiac event. You may have a cardiac event.
This is a joke. Absolutely not. I would not have a cardiac event running across.
Does he understand that he has to move in pickleball?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
We watched this guy walk around with an umbrella, and he thinks that he's just going to be able to stand. I had
plantar fasciitis. I got hurt.
Yeah, all right. So does the 82-year-old
pickleball
player.
A sport that requires less activity than pickleball.
You should have seen me cutting the bases, though. I mean, I was rounding third base like a pro. No 80-year-old.
Most pros don't blow out their ankle rounding third base.
That's not true. There's plenty of people who blow out their legs, going into third. That's what happened to Chris Bryant.
Henry Morales is embarrassed by your injury.
Chris Bryant, basically his career suffered a major setback when he tweaked his knee in 2019 in San Francisco. I mean, that really derailed his career.
I forget who, but somebody did get pulled from a baseball game last night because of plantar fasciitis.
I mean, it happens, boys. All right. But now I'm
not to defend Matt.
Was it Ronald Acuna, Mr. I'm injured at everything?
No, that's a hamstring. It's different.
Yeah, that sounds more severe. It's a bigger muscle.
Nope.
Josh, are you worried that we're never going to see healthy Ronald again? Is this a concern?
Not worried, not terrified at all that the man I have a jersey of is broken on the inside permanently.
Yeah, don't get him playing pickleball.
Baseball team. Josh's stupid baseball team lost to the Sox yesterday. Now the Sox have a better record than the Cubs, and all these stupid Southsiders won't shut their mouths about it.
Nobody will believe me, but I sat next to my wife watching the game, and that kid came to the plate, and I said, he's going to hit a walk-off home run because it's his first baseball game. And sure enough.
The Sox have some juice. They got some magic, bro. So
they do.
You don't even like baseball, and you pretend to be mad about it.
I'm not pretending to be mad about the Sox. I can't stand the White Sox.
He's mad about the Cubs in relation to the Sox.
Thank you, Josh Hudson. See,
he's mad about pickleball in relation to his own health.
I just think, we're like tearing up, old parks, in my hometown to go ahead and build pickleball courts. Places that used to have swings and monkey bars and seesaws are now having pickleball courts for geriatric exercise.
What you are saying right now is, number one, false, and number two, a completely different argument from the one that you were presenting earlier about your superior athleticism against either kindergartners or 72-year-olds that are looking to beat you in pickleball.
That's a false statement.
No.
He's got a lot of problems with you people.
I said that you are presenting a different argument. It almost feels as if you are backing off a little bit.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
No,
like
I'm not
wouldn't
backing
pick the
off
three
the fact
horses for the Derby.
I was allowed to pick multiple horses. I mean, that was allowed.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do it against Connor. You got scared.
Yeah, because I knew I would lose. I knew I would lose that.
Just like you would lose to the kindergartner.
It was a lose-lose situation against Happer. Happer also strikes me as the type of guy who's just like naturally good at a lot of things, Like it strikes me as like if I were to play bags with Happer, or if we were to play like that little ball string game where you try and like wrap it around the bar, like we were to play or something like that.
Ball string
we
game.
We played any of these.
You just called tetherball.
Is he talking about tetherball or is he talking about?
I thought he was talking about ball and cup, but he was talking about tetherball.
No. It's the 3 bars. It's a backyard game where you have the 3 bars.
And the golf rope deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Ladder
like, if
ball.
I were to play Happer with that, he'd kill
Horse
me. I'm in a
balls.
dart league. If I'm in a dart league, if Happer asked to play darts against me, I'm convinced that I probably would end up losing. Like it's just kind of one of those things where Connor looks like a threat at niche sports. At niche sports, Happer seems like a guy who's just like a shark.
But not like regular sports?
Well, I mean, you didn't go to the MLB. Didn't go to the
If you guys had a 3-point contest, who would win?
Ooh, I'm terrible at shooting.
We could find this out.
So I'd lose. I was the quote-unquote hustle guy in intramural basketball in college. That tells you all you need to know.
You don't really look like you ever played basketball, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm 5'10". Yeah. It's not, and I didn't play organized basketball.
Connor's not tall, but I know that he plays basketball.
Well, Connor is around more basketballs than I am.
Oh, it's my access to
A
basketball.
pentathlon and we picked 5 sports.
Okay.
If we did a Happer versus McMaster,
yeah.
For the record, I don't know how that would go, but Matt is telling me that I would win all of them.
He's already defeated him. So.
Yeah, it's just weird. I'm very confused by this too.
I think if we I'm just saying if we played niche, you just seem like the type of guy that's very good at niche sports. But if we were to put like a competitive aspect to this and this was broadcasted, I would win just out of pure will. And I think I would break you. Like I think I would get to the point where you're like, I don't care about this anymore. This doesn't need to be this intense. Like I'd probably out intense Happer to the point where he just forfeits.
Definitely. I'm very breakable, so be careful.
He's a very malleable human, Connor Happer.
Malleable would mean that he
malleable would be exactly the opposite of what I'm going for. But break.
Or how about? Isn't it when you're malleable you bend?
Yeah, but you just said breaking.
I'm saying breakable. Yeah,
malleable would imply that he wouldn't break. That he's made of such strong stuff that he can adapt to any situation.
Are you trying to bend me or are you trying to break me?
I'm trying to do something to you. Clearly.
All right.
I don't know what.
Are you the Bane to his Batman?
No, I want to be Batman.
Okay. I mean, he did get broken.
Happer Moore is like the Riddler to my Batman.
The Riddler, wow.
This is always like throwing questions at me, and I have to solve things, And Schaefer's like Cobblepot. He's like the Penguin.
Wow. That's an insult.
To be fair, I was not the one using the umbrella to get around. So
he's got a point.
There it is. He does have a point. Maybe I'm the Cobblepot of 1620.
I just want to be the Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, good Batman villain.
Oh yeah.
So, what are you guys going to do today? Smart. Are you going to eat some corn dogs or something, or what's the deal?
I mean, you know me. Whatever food is brought to me, I will eat it. I'm not really picky in that regard. So,
whomever the Vegas team wiener is.
Yeah, whomever and whatever is put in front of me, I will eat.
You'll be sitting in close proximity to the popcorn stand, as is tradition, and that is always
he's setting up
a very intriguing idea to me.
How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. I just said hi to the popcorn guy. Got to treat people right around here to get free food. I can't wait for the taco guy to show up. The Papillion taco guy. I love a Papillion taco today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love everything. I mean, I want a taco. There's that they got a barbecue spot over in I believe it's section 106 over there.
When you gonna eat all this food?
I don't know. Probably in between breaks. We have 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I could probably house a barbecue sandwich in 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Will you be eating to completion today?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be stuffed by the time I leave Werner Park, whether it be through my dime or the other people's dimes. I will be full.
Sean writes in
go to Shields
on the text line. Do they have clam chowder at Werner Park?
Oh yeah,
great question.
Have you ran this by Marty?
I have not run this by Marty.
Okay, please run your creation by Marty.
Chef Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I run a lot of things by Marty in our bi-weekly in-person interview. You know, I've pitched him promotions and different names and types of jerseys.
Have you used any of it?
I am trying to secretly. No, he's used none of it. In fact, he's actually told me that he would have lost his job if we used one of my promotions ideas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so.
What one was it?
That's, yeah. I wanted to rename.
It was an extreme version of
Dogs at the Bark at the Park, but I wanted to name it like after what we call female dogs, you know? And that didn't really sit well with them.
Something on the berm that would be alliterative to berm.
Well, I know what you're saying. I don't know why you said that.
Yeah. I don't know why you did either, Connor.
It's funny.
Not sure what the promotion is there, especially from the show that loves women as much as the Midday show. The most progressive
show.
The network.
1620 the Zone.
That's right.
But I wasn't talking about the women through the decades. I was more so in reference to dogs.
People would definitely know what we meant.
Yeah, people definitely refer to that as that for sure.
All the time.
I mean, you're talking to somebody like I hosting with Gary. Like Gary would tell me all of the crazy promotions ideas he had with the Miracle, and like he wanted like them to like have people give birth during their game one time like that. So that's really when I think of minor league promotions, I think of the most extreme things we can do.
That's one of the things I like about the Storm Chasers is it really is more times than not about the baseball here. It is not about how zany they can be.
Yeah, they're not doing too much. That's for sure. There is the opportunity to do too much.
Imagine you're with your coworkers. You're like, you guys want to go catch the minor league baseball game? There's a live birth that's going to happen in the fifth inning.
I mean, if I'm being real,
I gotta be there.
That would get me to the ballpark. Yeah.
It would.
I didn't think it would be funny,
Once you've seen one, you're probably you've had enough.
I've experienced a live birth. Okay. I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah,
I would reserve that.
I
would reserve that for your firstborn, Matt, and just wait.
Which will definitely not be named Michael Hamilton.
Nope, it will not be.
If it's a boy, it's going to be named Michael Hamilton. I don't know why that's the funniest thing I've ever said to Connor Happer. You just died when I said my son will be named Michael Hamilton. That's happening.
Quite the prediction. That's all. By the way, I got this email.
That's on my Hinge profile.
Well, that's nice.
Why don't you read that to us right now?
No.
Yeah. Okay, everything he says just draws so many follow-up questions. But we have to move on.
That's what I mean.
I got this email from Bernwat, who writes in subject line, Matt and P-ball. I was a good high school and low-level college athlete. I am 67. There are at least 50 70-year-olds in Omaha who would completely dominate Matt. He might not score at all. There are an equal number of 10-year-olds who would also clobber him. It's a niche sport, and people can become very skilled. Think racquetball. An overweight, out-of-shape, skilled server can make you look silly. Matt knows not of what he speaks.
Yeah, I just completely disagree with that statement, and I don't think that there are that many 50-year-olds or that many 10-year-olds that could
dominate.
I think you could overpower the 10-year-old.
How many weeks would it take Matt to beat a 50-year-old that's good in pickleball?
It would take me 30 minutes. It would take me 30 minutes to do it.
We can call our friends at Smash Park and set this up.
I would love to have the Matt McMaster pickleball
open invitational.
But you missed the message.
Open.
You completely missed the message from Bert, which was it takes an incredible amount of skill to be good at this. And there is a lot of people who have decided to dedicate their time and well-being to be good at it. And clearly you have not.
Jobs. They play pickleball.
Yeah.
All day.
Don't care. I don't believe him. Wow. I don't buy it. You are the person. You think you can land a plane with no assistance. You're telling me that I'm crazy for thinking I could be.
Yeah, but Connor has ridden in a plane many times. You've not played pickleball.
No, he's never landed a plane before.
No, I am misunderstood, Matt.
And he's landed a ball.
I am misunderstood. What I said is I could land a plane if the pilot was incapacitated, if it was a small plane, and I had help from air traffic control to guide me where I was going. I could do that.
I'm not saying that I could beat a professional pickleball player. I'm not saying that I could beat.
I don't think you could beat a skilled amateur.
No, I don't think I could beat a skilled amateur unless they barely can move, whether it be they're too young or too old.
You can barely move.
But I certainly can beat them. Well, I mean, not anymore. I can
His
move
point
now.
about racquetball. Have you ever played racquetball?
Racquetball's so hard.
I have played racquetball.
It is a very difficult sport. Also, a hell of a workout, by the way.
It is a hell of a workout. They had it at the Nebraska Student Union. Had some nice racquetball courts, and I would play racquetball there all the time.
Probably
Jake
getting
Ganisek
dusted by everybody.
about that, right, Jake?
Oh,
With what?
Did you play racquetball at UNL?
Not too much. I did see people playing it, but usually when I went to the rec center, I was playing basketball.
You're playing basketball.
I was playing basketball
Did you
usually
ever play
in the
against Heinrich Harburg or any of the football?
No, I
players
didn't. I never ran into them at all. I just ran into like other random
were always
students,
there.
but I know I sometimes saw them when I went to the gym, but yeah. No, didn't get into racquetball. I don't think I'd be very good, but I've played pickleball a couple times and I suck at it, so it's very hard.
Jake and I will take on anybody at pickleball. I'm throwing Jake.
You're gonna put me into this?
Jake is now.
That is not
Double.
good.
Sorry, Jake.
It's doubles.
Well, if I do
We'll
better
call
than
it
Matt,
the
then that says
Master
something.
Janicek Invitational.
Oh boy.
Jake's a good athlete.
Okay.
Jake's a good athlete. He's a smart man.
Sorry,
as well.
Jake.
I've seen Jake at the blackjack table.
Oh, the
He can run it.
the blackjack
He can run
table means I'm
I've seen
athletic.
Jake at a blackjack table.
That's great.
Yeah, it means it means you can use your brain.
Josh, I look forward to your guys' show today because I have no idea what's going to come out of Matt's mouth.
What planet is he?
I have no idea.
You take the guy out of the studio, and I don't even understand who he is anymore.
This has been an absolutely wild, 20 minutes right now.
I mean, get it out of your system now before Friday.
yeah, I suppose.
Be wild today. That's fine.
Yeah, I got to dial in for the College World Series. There's a lot of big things for me to do during the series, so I do need to get my wild side.
You're the tenured vet of the village.
I know. Isn't that scary?
Very.
I mean, being at Werner Park is a good primer.
Now I'm wondering if I've done more shows across the decade.
What's going on? What's going on? Who's talking?
Oh well, Schaefer started talking, so I'll let him go.
I was wondering. So Matt was referred to as a tenured vet, and then I was wondering if I've done more shows across a decade of filling in at the Omaha baseball village
definitely
than Matt's total.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, more than
It's
likely.
possible.
I would think so.
Yeah,
He could still be the tenured vet. I'll sit off to the side. I'm good with that.
I was just saying Werner Park's a good primer for the OBV.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
For Matt, it'd be good.
It is. All right, boys, this was fun. I'm glad glad we could entertain you. We will talk to you tomorrow. This was the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Middays with Matt at Werner Park. As the Omaha Storm Chasers take on the Las Vegas Aviators, it's the first time since 2019 that the Las Vegas Aviators are in Omaha. First pitch at 12:05. We'll be here the entire time on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call. Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
It is Matt live and rolling here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster, as always, joined by Josh Otson, Jake Janicek back at our studios on 50th and Dodge in Omaha. Jake, thank you so much for the great work that you do. Josh and I over here at Werner Park. J.O., how are you?
I'm doing good. This is I think this is the windiest it's ever been. We've done this for quite a few years now. I want to say this is year 3, maybe 4 that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
This is definitely the windiest.
Hell of a time to have a host that uses pen and paper on a very windy day
Yes.
here at Werner Park. So we will be here. We are in front of section 114 today. So if you happen to make your way out to Werner Park to watch the Las Vegas Aviators take on the Omaha Storm Chasers. First time the Aviators have been here in Omaha since 2019. Come and say hi to us. We would love to see you. We'd love to talk to you. We'll be broadcasting here. We're right behind home plate, too, so maybe we do a little bit of play-by-play at times.
Absolutely.
Give Nick Batters a little run for his money.
You said you want to take his job today.
Well, you know what? Maybe you take his job as well. Maybe we have you call a pitcher, too. It'd be a very good time.
A 2-man booth. That would be an interesting change.
A
for
booth
the
is always better with 2 men, isn't it?
Or 2 people.
Or 2 people.
You know.
Sorry. Jeez. Already.
The A's employ a female play-by-play
Yes, they do.
person.
What's your name?
Great question. I was hoping you didn't ask.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, she does a phenomenal job. I see
Yes.
her calls all over Instagram and Twitter from time to time. So anyway, we are here in front of Werner Park. We have a very fun show for you today.
Jenny Kavner.
Okay, congratulations to Jenny. She does a great job. Josh, we are only 3 days away from, or technically 2 days away, right?
Yeah.
From the CWS. We'll be at the Omaha Baseball Village.
48 hours from right now, we'll be there.
48 hours. We will be at the Omaha Baseball Village. It will be you. It will be me. It will be Mike Schaefer and a host of a bunch of other people broadcasting the greatest show on dirt. Should be incredibly exciting. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, Josh Otson, is because yesterday we created the OBV show Google Doc. I created a Google Doc and started.
I have not cracked into that yet, but I plan to after the show.
Don't worry. I started writing down a bunch of topics and a bunch of different things that I will talk about with Mike Schaefer, along with Josh Peterson and a whole host of other broadcasters that we will be broadcasting with at the Omaha Baseball Village. And I came up with a very good topic that, you know what? I was selfish. I wanted to keep it to myself. I wanted to keep it for the show. I said, this topic is too good to just be used at the Omaha Baseball Village. I want to use it on these very airwaves. So today we will be talking about the top 10 athletes who need to win a title. The top 10 athletes.
Let's go.
And now here's the funny thing.
Sports radio wheelhouse.
If you've already won a title, you are eliminated. Okay?
Okay.
So you can make the argument that LeBron James needs to win his 5th title to maybe close the gap in the Michael Jordan, conversation. You might make an argument that, hey, Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo, they got off to very great starts. They were heading for all-time careers. All of a sudden, their championship hopes have stalled. They need to win a title. Those people, if you've already won a title, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, your favorite team, the Boston Celtics.
They've won a title. People forget.
People do forget. Do not bring up the fact that they got swept by the Philadelphia 76ers. Even though
by Joel Embiid, who has no titles,
even though everybody was telling me that it was going to be the greatest transitional season of all time.
Gap year, baby.
I mean, that was the most Bill Simmons summer segment I've ever heard in my entire life, which, by the way, we will have a couple Bill Simmons summer segments at the Omaha Baseball Village. Wait till you crack open that Google Doc.
I'm very excited.
Very excited. But we will talk about the top 10 athletes that need to win a title And my list just really turned into a Patrick Mahomes graveyard. So we'll go ahead and have.
Oh yeah, it
that,
would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, think about it. Right, 2 seconds.
There's a lot of Karl Malones and Charles Barkleys in the NFL right now.
How many Clyde Drexlers are currently playing quarterback?
Good pull.
In the NFL. We will have that discussion at some point today. We will also ask a burning question. Is college football too big to fail? Can you kill college football?
Some are trying.
Some are doing their damn best to do it. Most of those people happen to be in the Big 12 and the SEC, Josh.
Hey, Red Raider, I've noticed your mascot has 2 guns there. Why don't you use those on the sport of college football?
Are the Red Raiders turning into Michael Scott in improv? They're just pulling a gun at every scene. That's an
excellent reference.
That is not our burning question, though. Our burning question is college football too big to fail? We will talk all about that. I mean, essentially, college football is just becoming something that nobody was really interested in, which is pro sport light. And if you really want pro sport light, in a way, it's not a full one-to-one comparison, but how much minor league sports have you watched?
We're going to watch some minor league sports.
We are going to watch some minor league sports today, so that's a very good point. So we will talk about, is college football too big to fail? We will also talk about one of the best Stanley Cup finals I've ever seen.
Wow.
4 games. All 4 of them have been thrilling. Whatever we did, or whatever I did when I celebrated my wins with La Chona and then got mariachi music, whenever I did that, we should probably do the opposite today after my predictions on that game. Do you remember what some of my predictions were?
You took the under on goals.
The under,
despite the previous 3 games of work that you could have worked on.
There was about 4 goals in about 12 minutes of play.
Oh.
And the under was 5.5. They blew right through that number very quickly.
Was the number last night, right?
Yeah, 5-3 was the final score. Carolina Hurricanes played a phenomenal game, an absolutely phenomenal game. Dominated that game for about 2 periods, and then Las Vegas very slowly started getting back into it. And then the third period was cinema. Great tweet yesterday from Connor Happer, who was like, "A tale as old as time. I'm now done with things for the day," and I turned on a very entertaining Stanley Cup final. That's what it's been. I have to look this up during the break. I've been meaning to do it. When was the last time we had 2 Game 7s in both the NBA final and the NHL final? I do not remember. Obviously, the last Game 7 that we had in 2020 was in the NBA was 2025. It was last year, but then we didn't have a Game 7 for 9 years. Last year's NHL finals, Carolina and Edmonton, I don't believe went to 7 games. I believe that went to 6 games. The series before,
there have only been 18 Game 7s in NHL Stanley Cup final history.
Okay, good to know. So we will do that. I will find that out during the break. These 2 series have a legitimate opportunity to both go to 7. I'm never going to make the take that I would be surprised if a series didn't go to 7. Right? I mean, these things kind of just flip quicker than you know. I mean, we are on a potential Chris Paul Phoenix Suns watch for the New York Knicks. Are they going to win the first 2 games, have a coronation, and then lose 4 in a row? That might happen between them. But if any NBA and NHL final have had an opportunity to both go to 7 games, I think it would be this one. Big game tonight, Madison Square Garden, part 2, the Knicks playing the Spurs. A lot of interesting storylines have been embedded now after Game 3. Go ahead.
I have the answer. 1994.
Okay. Great job, Josh Hodson.
Game 7 in the NHL and NBA.
1994 would have been – okay, wait. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Don't say anything. 1994. 1994, didn't the Rockets sweep the Magic in 94? Or was that in 95?
That would have been 95.
So 94 would have been Knicks versus Rockets.
That is correct.
7. And then 1994, is that a Rangers year?
That is correct.
The Rangers beat, the Red Wings?
No.
Who did they beat?
They beat the Canucks.
The Canucks, I would never have gotten that. I'll take 3 out of 4 teams. Anyway, great stat, Josh Hodson. It'd be the first time in 32 years that we would have Both the NBA and NHL finals go to Game 7. Spurs take on the Knicks tonight. What I find very interesting about Victor Wembanyama is that I feel like I can tell very quickly whether or not it's going to be a good game for him.
It seems that way, yes.
I feel like pretty quickly you can tell that it's going to be his night or it's not going to be his night. Now, I will say this. If Steph Castle continues to have the games where he's having 18 points in the first half and he's scoring 25 points, I think the whole point of this playoffs, like the number one point that you will take away from this is, wow, I cannot believe how good and how young the San Antonio Spurs are. I mean, they're playing so many guys who are either in their first, second, or third years in the NBA, and they do have some veteran presences. I will say, okay, like if we ever make a documentary about Wemby, one of the points will end up being is Bismack Biyombo was a really big piece of that Spurs team. Like we will say that. We will talk about Plumlee and be like, oh, having him around was a big deal. Having Harrison Barnes, having a grown-up in the room who had won NBA titles and had been in that situation before.
Yeah, they are going to say that about Harrison Barnes.
They are, despite the fact that from a production standpoint, those guys haven't done a ton. Barnes does get important minutes, so kudos to him. But we will be like, man, Bismack Biyombo, if they didn't have him, right? We say that now about Thanasis Antetokounmpo, that he was so important for Giannis's success. At least that's Jeff Teague who claims that. So anyway, big game tonight. Game 4, San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks. I will predict right now the Spurs win tonight. 0-2 at home for both teams. I think the Spurs know that their back is against the wall. This is the prime opportunity, obviously, to take back control of the NBA Finals, to then go to Game 5 to San Antonio to avenge some lackluster losses. So it should be a very entertaining Game 4. This is, by the way, one of the best weekends we've had in sports that I've been a part of, or weeks in general, right?
Okay.
The finals are going on. We have the College World Series beginning this weekend. We also have UFC, the 250th
probably
anniversary.
It looks like it might rain, but I doubt they will pull the plug on that.
So I saw the 7-day forecast a couple of days ago that there were thunderstorms. Is that still trending to happen? That's a real shame.
My guess is they will not stop for anything. They will do that.
So the venue that they built has like a dome, basically. So I just think Congress members are going to get rained on, which, some would argue.
The pictures might look even more awkward when there's quote unquote no one in attendance because it's raining, like
because they can't bring umbrellas,
because
they can't handle a little rain. Anyway, that card for UFC, are we just calling it UFC 250?
I believe it is Freedom 250.
I will not be calling it that. I'll just be calling it UFC 250.
Interesting.
By the way, UFC 250 was a very sneaky card. Aljamain Sterling beat Corey Sandhagen in the co-main event. Cody Garbrandt knocked out Rafael Assunção.
I love that you just know that.
Well, it was the first ever
it's good for the show.
UFC pay-per-view I watched. It was during COVID. And I had no sport to watch, so I watched UFC 250. It was a phenomenal.
Is that how you got into UFC?
Yeah, Amanda Nunes knocked out Jessica Evil Eye.
One of my favorites, Amanda Nunes.
Do you know who Amanda Nunes is?
I do, actually.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, she is like, if you were to know any women's fighter outside of Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano.
She beat Ronda Rousey.
She knocked the crap out of Ronda Rousey. Also, Amanda Nunes is you can just put beat in front of everybody, and she's done that. She's probably the greatest.
And then she went and had a baby and said, I'd like to come back now.
Yeah. Is she coming back?
I don't know. I never heard what happened with that.
You'll come to, you've already know this. I get really into sports I get really into niche sports for 4 years and learn everything that you need to know about that sport. and then I kind of eject and I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I'm currently in my NASCAR phase.
Okay.
So big race coming up this weekend. They're going to go to the San Diego Street Course. Have you been able to look at what the San Diego Street Course is going to look like in NASCAR?
Haven't gotten around to it.
Probably
been prepping for the series.
It probably is one of the most difficult courses I've ever seen.
But it's not a circle, so yes.
It's a course that's really made for F1 cars, and yet stock cars are going to be driving into it. The pit road situation is going to be absolutely atrocious. I have from an inside source that a certain driver has had 4 or 8 different 4-hour sessions, and they still believe that it's going to be very difficult to find out. Wow. So I know. I have NASCAR sources. How about that?
Love that for us.
I love it's so useful for us. We have so much valuable information.
We'll go to that well a bunch, I'm sure.
All the time. So a well that we will go to a lot this football season is one we're going to hit for the first time today. Buy, sell, hold, or bet.
Stonks
is what we are going to be talking about in regards to college football teams. We are going to, throughout the season, review 2 teams at once, and I'm going to tell you if I'm buying their stocks, if I'm selling their stocks, if I'm holding their stocks, or am I going to place a future bet on them? And I'm going to put money where my mouth is, and am I going to back this team to win me real U.S. dollars? Matt McFutures, everybody knows I am the best future bettor in all of America. I have some tickets to show for it, so it should be quite fun. Today's 2 teams, we'll just go ahead and tell you it right now. They are opponents of Nebraska football this season. We will be doing buy, sell, hold, or bet on Washington and Illinois. Jack Mitchell's favorite football team, the Washington Huskies. We will talk all about them today. No, he absolutely hates Washington. He thinks Washington is going to be terrible, and he's just completely selling their stock.
Okay,
so
okay. I was going to say, who feels anything about Washington?
Probably Jefferson. You know, I mean, they really had a contentious relationship.
I imagine so.
You know,
everybody wants the credit.
Well, I think George was a little pissed off that the guy came back from France when he was in a bunker, you know, fighting for the freedom of America, and then kind of swooped on in. And then, you know, Jefferson really did kind of.
Washington probably did think Jefferson was a nerd.
Yeah,
right?
But then how?
Like, I'm a soldier. What are you?
But here's why he thought he was a nerd. How long did Jefferson ride the coattails of writing the Bill of Rights? Right? I mean, he wrote that Bill of Rights. He wrote the first 10 amendments of our Constitution. Was like, hey guys, I'm the guy. I'm the man. You know. And Washington's like, dude, I got wooden teeth and, you know, gunshot wounds here.
Jefferson, a real George R.R. Martin of his time.
Yes.
Coasting on that one accomplishment.
Well, he had
refusing to add any to the list.
He had quite other accomplishments, like being the president. He is known for something else, though, a little bit more now, after all of that went down. Yep, we don't have to talk about it. It's not a history show. It's a sports show. And we will talk about sports today. We'll talk about the top 10 athletes who need a title. Talk about, is college football too big to fail? Buy, sell, hold, or bet on Washington or Illinois. We're doing that throughout the entirety of the season. We'll also talk about Game 4 of the NBA Finals, Game 4 of the NHL Finals. We'll also be keeping our ear to the ground when it comes to the Brendan Sorsby situation.
And we have some guests today, I imagine.
We do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I got you.
We will have John Walker on at 11 o'clock. We will also
That's in 15 minutes.
That is in 15 minutes. We will also have Austin Jacobson on.
Today's not Friday.
No, Austin will be at the College World Series working his butt off. Okay, he will be working his butt off, and so he will not be available to come on the show on Friday.
He doesn't have much butt to work off.
Actually, I think I might disagree with that. He's a pretty sturdy individual.
Okay.
He's not very skinny. I mean, he's a strong guy. I mean, he is from Western Nebraska. When you are from Western Nebraska, you are born with more strengths in your bones.
You get a little more dump truck.
I mean, I got dump truck because of hockey.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I have a dump truck. It's because I use that muscle every day, or at least 5 days a week for about 13 years. Austin Jacobson was just born with it, you know? I mean, just those – I've talked about this with Mike Schaefer before. You people who are born here in Nebraska, just wider, bigger, stronger, great frames, you know?
You've said this before. You're a tall person.
I believe it or not.
I do, actually. I've heard this from other people.
I am a big human in Chicago. Like 5'11", 205 pounds. Like, and, you know, I'm a little bit wider, believe it or not, in Chicago as well. I do pretty well there. I come out here, I'm a pipsqueak. I am an ant, and all of you are the boot. It's a little demoralizing, if I'm being honest.
All that farm corn and milk. I don't know.
See, I only ever had milk. We didn't have farm. We didn't really eat corn growing up.
Okay. Must be
and
the
I
corn.
was, by the way, I was that kid too. My mom gave me chocolate milk too early. Like, she didn't force me to have regular milk. She gave in, and I had the sugary milk too soon. And that definitely did not help me in terms of my nutrition.
It's a good recovery drink.
It is a phenomenal. Chocolate milk's the best recovery drink. I used to drink chocolate milk after every hockey game. We will have John Walker on at 11 o'clock. We will have Austin Jacobson on at 12 o'clock. Like I said, Austin will be at the College World Series. There are a lot of people who have been giving you your College World Series drinking guides. They've been telling you, hey, these are the bars you need to hit. This is what you need to do. I'll be giving a drinking guide for the College World Series.
From a real downtown person, not one of those, well, I Googled trendy Omaha bars and did a TikTok about it. This man drinks the drinks. He's walking the walk, okay?
You do this for fun. I do it for a lifestyle.
Yeah.
All right? You have a beer to be cool. All right? I have a beer because I love it. And I also live downtown. I go to that. I walk. I will say this. I love Rocco's. I love Lefty's. Lefty's is just one of my favorite places to walk at 5:30 and just be like, oh, I'm going to grab a beer, And unfortunately, for the next about 12 days, I won't be able to do that. So that is quite disappointing. But I will give you my College World Series drinking guide. There are some rules to follow. There are some tidbits, are some tips, are some tricks.
Love this.
Okay. There are some places that you can hit at certain times that it will work out for you. So I will give you my own. We're not going to give you the propped up, social media guide. We are going to give you, like you were alluding to, from a real drinker, the College World Series drinking guide. We also, at 1 o'clock, have a wacky guest. It is Wacky Guest Wednesday here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. As always, every single Wednesday at 1 o'clock, Josh Odson has booked a guest for me to talk to, for me to discuss with. I do not know who the guest is. I never have, and I never will. Typically, Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer know who the guest is.
They don't even know.
Maybe we'll have a taste of Central Nebraska once again. We had Brian Gallagher of Central Nebraska of Grand Island on. KRGI, I believe, is his radio station that he is the sports director for. We'll be hearing a little bit more of Brian Gallagher on these very radio waves. A little hint at some of the people that might be hosting with us at the College World Series. So excited to see who our wacky guest is today. Real quick, before we hit a break, I do have a topic I want to discuss. I am calling my shot here. Aaron Donald will return to the Los Angeles Rams.
Boy, that just doesn't go away. I thought the day of the trade, it was just, oh, you guys are crazy.
I think you and I, if we're better at what's our best, our best, or what's our greatest strength here on Middays with Matt?
Wow.
I think our greatest strength
There's so many
is knowing when. Why did you say that sarcastic, by the way? I actually
just the tone of my voice.
I do think we actually have a lot of strengths. We notice when things aren't going away. Okay, we called it with Rossini and Vrabel.
Yep.
We were like, guys, this ain't going anywhere. Okay, and it did not go for weeks. Which, by the way, I think Vrabel is. Can we officially say he survived it? I mean, nothing's going to happen, right? I mean,
I read yesterday that there is an investigative piece that is coming out.
Oh, no.
It's still a few weeks away.
Is it PTFO?
I don't know if it's that or if it's like The Athletic or something. Like
The Athletic is going to do one on
I guess maybe not The Athletic, but like some journalist is working on a story. It's a couple weeks from being
That's
done.
A New York Post article written all over it, ain't it?
I would imagine if Vrabel can survive that fallout, he's good, for lack of a better word. But I would say there is one final hurdle for him to get over.
Okay.
And that's the tell-all.
You and I were on the Sorsby stuff very early. Okay. We were on this stuff very early. We knew it was going away. We knew it would be a big story. I think, honestly, you and I kind of hinted at the fact that crazy things could happen, and crazy things did indeed happening. This is another story that is not going away. Aaron Donald returning to the LA Rams. We keep talking about it. Like he
keeps posting workout videos.
Trending. And like now you had Adam Schefter say, look, I'm not making a prediction and I don't have any sources, but it is notable that you're hearing about it now. And I think the more ramp up that Donald is going to get and the more conversation that he is going to have with it, the more tempting it's going to be. He's had his time off. He is one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. He is 3 years away, essentially, from being in Canton, Ohio. He is undoubtedly a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Can you just go all out for one season, maybe two?
This is the conversation where it's like, I wish I was a former football player, and I wish maybe we should have a former football player on to talk about this.
I know of some.
Here's my thing. Like, I remember talking to John Yurkovich, who played a long time in the NFL, and Yurko always talked about training camp and how hard training camp was, and it was all about losing your legs. You had to train so hard that you lost your legs, and then you got your legs back right before the season began, and you had to lose them, and if you got them back, you were going to be good.
Okay.
But the guys who end up getting hurt during the season more often than not are the ones that don't lose their legs. They don't go hard enough in training camp, and they go ahead and because of that, they don't get them back. They're not ready to go. J.J. Redick talked about the fact that he retired is because he didn't want to do another offseason, right? And kind of Tom Brady and Drew Brees has referred to the same. If Aaron Donald thinks that he can get through a training camp and thinks that he can handle that, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you try for another Super Bowl? They are going to undoubtedly be the favorites.
They'd probably also be okay with, like, hey, I'm going to play very little the first month of the season, but I'll be ready by the postseason.
My prediction is, before we hit a break here, Aaron Donald will come back. He will not be very good, but he will come back. He will not be Aaron Donald. He'll be fine, but he won't be. I don't think it'll be as big of an impact as we'll make it out to be, but I think he'll be returning to the NFL. We will be returning to you in about a little over 5 minutes here from Werner Park to talk to John Walker, the Omaha World Herald, here on Middays with Matt. live here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster, joined by Josh Odson here, and on the line from the Omaha World Herald, it is one of our favorite guests of the week, Mr. John Walker from the OWH. Johnny, how are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm sweating a little bit. I was at Creighton's new baseball practice field dedication a little bit ago, and I just stumbled into to the Chuck for the annual CWS kickoff press conference, essentially. And then, I don't know. I heard there might be a food taste testing of some new menu items afterwards. So, I'm good, man. I'm good. Running around a little bit. The CWS is upon us, but wouldn't have it any other way.
I have a boatload of questions after your first about 50 words here during this interview. Number one, how is the baseball practice facility looking?
Oh, the facility itself looks awesome.
Great.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's still being built, of course. There's going to be a press box, and then at some point there's going to be a 40,000 square foot training facility that is essentially attached to the baseball field. That's essentially attached to the baseball field. So all of that's still being built, but the field in and of itself is done, and it looks great. Just in time for the CWS teams to use it while they're in town over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, great point. Now you are over at the Chuck box right now. Are you looking at the field? I saw the field yesterday. It looked beautiful in all of its glory. What can you report to us so far at the Chuck box at the CWS Media Day? Is there any tidbits, any Walker scoops that we may not know that you just have found for yourself?
No, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. It looked the exact same way it did when they tweeted out the picture of the field yesterday with the stripes in the outfield.
Okay.
They're actively doing just some regular maintenance work on the dirt right now, but otherwise, this thing looks ready to go, man. I'm curious to see if they do a design. Last year we had the diamond because it was the diamond anniversary. So I'm curious to see what they come up with this year, if it'll be more traditional, like the stripes we've seen or whatever it ends up being. But that's always one of the cool parts about opening day of the CWS is seeing what the grounds crew comes up with. And they're at work right now, man.
John, I have a macro college sport question for you because there's been a lot of talk this week about Brendan Sorsby and the decision to give him the injunction that will allow him to play this season, despite the fact that he admitted to gambling on own events or on games on teams that he was a part of, which is a massive no-no, not only just in college sports, but in just sport in general. We've seen the history of when you gamble on your own team, you end up getting a very, very hefty consequence. Some very famous people have been banned for life from sports for doing that, and yet Sorsby, in this day and age of college football, got an injunction from a Lubbock County court that will allow him to play. And I think a lot of people are freaking out, and we've seen the think pieces and big tweets about the death of college sports, the death of college football. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. But I have to ask you, John, is it just me, or does it seem like all of the other sports in college outside of football are thriving right now? It seems like the NCAA, they broke records in terms of their basketball tournament this year, basketball just in general on Fox and the Disney family of networks. They broke ratings records. The CWS, there have been attendance records across the country for regionals and super regionals. The Women's College World Series set records in terms of viewership. Is it just me, or does it seem like despite football, everybody else is benefiting from the NIL and transfer portal and money?
Well, I would say football is as well. That's the top dog of the landscape, and I think that's why things like this get blown up as much as they do, because really at the root of it, they're two separate issues, but this is being handled exactly like the Charles Bediako situation this past basketball season, where it's a little different because Charles Bediako got an injunction mid-season so he could play games while the rest was figured out. Yes, Brendan Sorsby got an injunction, the season is still a long, long ways away. And the NCAA is obviously, if I had to guess, going to appeal and try and do its piece of all of this. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But the fact that he got an injunction, period, is ridiculous. Now, of course, the important part that you pointed out, Matt, is it came from a Lubbock County judge. If Brendan Sorsby goes before a judge in Austin, does that same injunction get granted? No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah. Like, but no, you're exactly right. Like, a lot of sports are thriving, like basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, wrestling, track and field, like you name it. All these sports are thriving, and football is as well. But of course, since that is the top of the food chain in college athletics, like there's so many more eyes on it, so much more scrutiny around it. And if things like this are going to happen in college football, rightfully so. So no, for sure. Like, all these other sports are thriving, and I don't think it's a surprise to you, me, or anyone listening that there are skeletons in college football's closet.
Yeah, and it's funny, you talk about the Lubbock County Court. They go ahead, they get a judge who is a Texas native. Now, Ken Curry, the judge who gave him the injunction, not a Texas Tech alum. Very important distinction there. I know that a lot of people might have been throwing that around. He went to UTSA and he went to Houston. But you bring this up, him not being in an Arlington court, or him not being in a Lubbock County court, does he still get that injunction? I was listening to Jay Billis. The NCAA filed an appeal, and they'll be going to 3 judges in an Amarillo court, to figure out if this injunction will stand. And so we will have an answer to your question. John Walker, if you go to somewhere else other than where your university is, will you get a favorable decision? That will happen in this Sorsby case, where it just seems like at this point, a lot of people believe that it's not going to get upheld.
No, for sure. And like, Amy just wrote a really strong and a really good, a really thorough column this week. And a lot of people did, of course. But I would tell everyone that, like, essentially all of the scrutiny this week is being directed at one judge for granting an injunction. Not like, and I think a lot of it, I cannot believe I'm defending the NCAA here. A lot of it at the moment has been wrongly placed on the NCAA, which, as you just noted, as Jay Billis said, is going to do what it can to make sure this doesn't happen. Now, if Brendan Sorsby throws a pass for Texas Tech this fall, boy, we'll break out the think pieces, and we'll begin to dig down the rabbit hole of what that could mean for, 1, college football, and 2, college athletics. But a lot of the flack right now really should just go to one judge at a Lubbock County court, because he alone is kind of responsible for opening the door for Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things too where, in terms of fan outrage, this was like the boiling point, a lot of people have been upset with how things have been going. And this was really, for a lot of people, in terms of getting mad about, people snapped. I mean, people were just furious because it just seemed like if one thing was going to get solved, like if one of these issues that went to a court was going to get, squashed immediately, it was going to be the one including the player who gambled on his own team. And the fact that we are at the point where even that, John Walker, is we have to go through a long appeal process to figure this out. I mean, that has got to be the microcosm or maybe just the tipping point in terms of how broken this system really is.
No, it absolutely is, because, we can sit here and argue eligibility all day long. To use Charles
a million percent.
Right. Like, we could sit here and say, oh, well, this guy, he did leave. He didn't play in the NBA. So, man, maybe he should have his eligibility. Maybe he should, we could sit here and do that all day. But throughout the history of sports, throughout the history of college athletics, especially over the past 5 years, like, we have all been told, all athletes have been told, gambling is a no-no. Like, bad. gambling, bad. That has been consistent across like all leagues, all sports, all people forever. And so I think that's what caught a lot of people, including myself, by surprise, is that, yes, as you said, Matt, it's like, okay, surely this of all things was not going to even be a possibility. And for the time being, reluctantly, it is. So, no, that's just the crazy thing about all of this. We'll see how it plays out. But boy, if the NCAA somehow, some way does not win the appeal and Brendan Sorsby plays college football this fall, we have officially opened Pandora's box, I believe.
Okay, here's a follow-up question to that,
Sure.
and you put that very well. Is the damage already done? Like, let's go off the hypothetical that the NCAA does win the appeal and Brendan Sorsby does not play this season for Texas Tech. Is the damage already done, though? Is the fact that it had to take this long as damning as the actual decision being made?
I don't think so. And I only say that because I wouldn't have said that about the Charles Bediako situation.
Sure.
Because really, like, this Brendan Sorsby case will kind of set precedent. And that's why there is so much attention around it. Because previously, you had a couple of Iowa guys. I covered one of the guys who was caught up in the Iowa betting scandal. Or scandal.
Okay. Can you update me on that? Because update me on that. Because re-educate
former
us
Iowa
on that.
receiver, transfers to Oklahoma State. So really, he was like one of the guys who had to tiptoe around a lot because he was a part of the betting scandal. And so, all of those guys were reprimanded, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because again, like, we've all been told forever, sports betting, like the players, the athletes, the coaches, gambling is a no-no. And so, like, there's precedent here. And so I'm saying is the NCAA has not failed us on this matter before. And so I hope that they don't fail us now. Again, I cannot believe that I'm defending the NCAA, but like, but like that's where we are. Like, the NCAA has reprimanded athletes who have previously gambled. And so do they do that? Again, with Brendan Sorsby in a case really that I think at this point has more attention than the, say, Iowa betting scandal did. That was like huge because it was so new, but this is huge because of the implications. And so, we'll see. I don't think it's too late, largely because a final happening has not happened yet. But we'll revisit that whenever, whatever happens.
Well, let's work off of that, because the Iowa betting scandal, and correct me where I'm wrong here, John Walker, wasn't that just they were betting on other games, right? They weren't betting on Iowa basketball games. They weren't betting on their own teams, correct? They were just betting on other college sports. Yeah.
Correct. So that's actually Arlen Bruce, the guy that I covered at Oklahoma State, was one of the guys who placed a bet on an Iowa football game, on one of the games that he played in. So, he played. Okay. Yeah. So, like,
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I don't think he ever.
And how long did he get suspended
for? He never played a snap for Oklahoma State. Like, he transferred, and it was like, maybe not. And then I don't think he ever played a snap.
See, I don't remember. So Aaron Eulis was a Iowa basketball player who was involved in that. He transfers to Nebraska, and he did not play his first full season at Nebraska. He sat. He then ended up playing some minutes the next season for Nebraska, albeit, not incredibly productive. But I don't remember what Aaron bet on. If he, I don't think he bet on.
Yeah, I can't remember
Iowa basketball. I don't remember, so I don't want to make those claims. But he was a part of that as well. But you're right. The people who were involved in that Iowa betting scandal, they in some way, shape, or form were reprimanded. And it's funny you say this Brendan Sorsby case will set a precedent, because you know why that sentence is so baffling to me, John Walker? The precedent has already been set. We've already set that, not just through the NCAA, but through the history of sport. So the fact that we have to reset such a, in my opinion, such a stone, just such a solid precedent. I mean, a precedent that nobody previously before would have argued with. The fact that we have to reset that is crazy. I think that's even wilder.
No, it certainly is. It really is. So I don't know how this is going to end. If I had to guess, the NCAA wins the appeal. I'm hoping the NCAA wins the appeal, because as convoluted as college athletics have become over the past few years, that I'm sure happens behind the scenes all of the time. But as far as we know it, has not infiltrated the game entirely yet, or the games, I should say. So I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping it doesn't, because Brendan Sorsby loves to throw around dollar parlays in hopes that he could hit a lottery ticket.
Absolutely. Hey, John, real quick before we let you go here, you were at some Creighton basketball practices. The training camp has started. You were talking to Coach Huss. Any takeaways from your time over watching this new roster kind of come together for the first time, get some work in? Also saw that Baylor Shireman along with Joe Mazzulla, they were also at the Blue Jay training facility. So break that all down for me real quick before we let you go here. Just some takeaways from your time watching the basketball team, watching Shireman, and talking to Huss, if you can say anything you want. Say anything you want.
Yeah, they did a lot of let's see, what's the very abridged version of this? NCAA rules only give coaches a certain amount of time with athletes throughout the summer. And so you kind of have to work around those. They're like kind of voluntary workouts and this, that, and the other. No certified basketball activities, whatever that means. And so Creighton was essentially, last week was the first week of summer workouts. They were split into two groups. One group would come in, get their workout in. The other group would come in, get their workout in. And then over the next couple of weeks, they'll slowly start to piece all of this together. And so that's kind of where they're at. They're in the very, very, very early stages of building a team. Alan Huss built the roster. They still have 2 roster spots open, but they are in the early stages of building a team. And the biggest part of that, the biggest takeaway out of last week's availability, Matt, is that Jackson McAndrew, for all intents and purposes, is fully cleared, or at least, as he said, quote, really close to full health following the foot surgery that robbed him of his sophomore season. So that was perhaps the biggest piece of news. A couple of other quick tidbits for you before I let you go. Catrell Harmon, incoming freshman guard, said he wants to win Big East Freshman of the Year. He'd be the third J to do it. And I mean, obviously the Big East has had some really good freshmen over the past couple of years. So that's a high bar. But he's shooting for it. And I'll leave you on this. There are 2 roster spots open. Alan Huss said that if the Jays do anything with those, although they, quote, could very well be done, then it'll be with young developmental pieces who could maybe have a chance to impact the roster in a positive way. Is that overseas? Perhaps. Is that here? We'll certainly find out if they do anything with the final 2 roster spots. But that's kind of where Creighton basketball stands at the moment, man. They've entered the next phase of the offseason officially.
How hot does that number 5 Harmon jersey look? Isn't that just a perfect number?
It looks so hot that Matt McMaster texted me about it when Creighton released the jersey numbers. No, it looks sick. It really does look sick.
Dude. That is icky.
Somebody
icky
pointed out
style.
no 6. We still have no 6. And the other other jersey thing is Oswin Arunte. He's going to keep 55. I don't know if that's a nod to Baylor Shireman in any way or form, but Baylor wore it a few years ago, of course, and that's what Oswin wore at Providence, and he's going to continue to rep the double banger at Creighton.
We'll see what double nickel is able to do in the CHI Health Center for the Creighton Blue Jays this year. Still crazy to me that Aswan Arunse is on Creighton just because of how many problems he gave him. He gave him so many problems last season in terms of he was a nightmare matchup. And it's funny, you did such a great job writing about it. They wanted him before he went to Providence. That was the guy that they were all over before he decided to be a Friar. But even just as easy to say as in this era of college basketball, you can look at a player that you're playing against and say, wow, I would love to have him on my team. And then a year later, that's exactly what you got. Aswan Arunse, the key pickup in the transfer portal for the Creighton men's basketball team. John Walker, a key piece of Omaha media, a great writer for the World Herald. Thank you so much. J-Dub, talk to you soon, my friend. We'll see you at the CWS.
Yes, sir. Bet on it.
All right. See you, Whiskey. You have a good one.
See what he did there at the end?
Bet on it.
Bet on it.
I do want to read this text. It was a great text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
It's from Randy. Sorry.
Hi, Randy.
You got to put Randy's Let me put Randy in the contact here because he writes in and then he says, Randy. Okay, Randy. He goes, I'm not a gambler, but would it be appropriate to ask what the odds are whether Sorsby plays for Texas Tech this year?
Good way to phrase the question.
Would it be inappropriate for me to put a number on Brendan Sorsby to play Texas Tech?
I'm sure that Bovada has over under starts.
Oh, what is can we
Brendan
go on
Sorsby?
Well, the people who we work for would be mad if on the company computer I go to Kalshi.
Actually, I believe since you are on a baseball team's Wi-Fi, you can't go there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dang it. I'll have to use my phone. Kalshi would have odds.
But maybe you could go to Kalshi, but
or not Polymarket.
I believe we cannot go to FanDuel and DraftKings.
I do want to know. They keep saying that DraftKings is available in 50 states. And I tried placing a bet.
I believe that's their prediction.
But I tried placing a prediction market bet last night, and it did not work.
Well, we'll have to ask Schaefer about that.
Well, it doesn't matter because I went to the Underdog fantasy sport app, and that's how it was.
A fine app?
A fine app indeed.
There's lots of fine apps. If you'd like us to pick one,
seriously, we have no affiliation. We think your app's the finest based on what support we might garner from talking about your app. So anyway, let's hit a break and talk about college football because talking about betting in college football definitely is a hot button thing to do this week in sport radio. We will continue to do that here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. Middays Matt here back. Middays Matt here back on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster along with Josh Otson. We are here at Werner Park. We are 36 minutes away from first pitch between the Las Vegas Aviators and the Omaha Storm Chasers. We have some news here in terms of Nebraska football recruiting that is coming in from Mr. Michael Bruntz. Trey Taylor, a 5-star quarterback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth. I played the fifth. Dude,
I don't know that one.
Chappelle Show. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
How am I quoting
yeah.
the Chappelle Show and you don't know it?
Well, he's hip with the young kids.
I'm the Chappelle Show guy.
Yeah.
Or you should be a Chappelle Show guy.
Oh,
I played the fifth.
I thought I was.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth.
Until you started doing this.
Marty Cordero is right behind us,
Yeah,
and I could not be more excited to
he's
talk
work-
about
he's working.
the president of the Omaha Storm Chasers. Look at this. He has given us a battery that we have just left on a table. Thank you so much, Marty. Look at you.
Is that
You
your
have-
battery?
It was a battery that was ours, and
Is it yours?
I don't. What am I going to use this battery for?
We'll take
I don't
it with
have a
us.
Camera. Well, more batteries, the better. How are you? Your son. I've never seen you more locked in before. Yes, give him a microphone real quick. How are you, friend? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a nice Wednesday morning.
I saw you walking.
Actually, it's still Wednesday morning. Yeah.
How do you feel about me beating you to the ballpark today? I saw you park your car, and I was already parked.
Did you beat me?
I was here 30 minutes before you were.
So you got here at 8:00?
I got here at 8:31, and you showed up at 8:34. All right. How does it feel that I'm beating the president of the Omaha Storm Chasers to the park? Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Makes me feel like I'm finally relaxing just a hair in my life.
You're getting a little bit too comfortable. I think
okay,
is what I mean
probably.
by that.
Probably
You got to
so.
pick it up a little bit. All right.
Probably
I'm on
so.
your heels, Cordero.
Yeah.
How are you? How excited you are to have Las Vegas back? I know they started. They played yesterday.
Yeah.
Chris
yeah.
Bubich didn't have the best outing.
He didn't,
from what I've heard. But
no, he didn't. He had a tough time in the first inning there, and but rehab assignments are a little tricky because it's not necessarily about performance; it's about health. And are they ready to be back to produce? So we'll see. We'll see if we get another start from him here or on Sunday possibly. But no, it's good to have Bubich on the mound again. And we've been playing pretty well at home outside of Tuesdays the last 2 or 3 series. So yeah, we look forward to a good game today here.
Nick was telling us that the last 6 losses have been by 1 run. And that's been the close losses have been really tough.
The last 2 Tuesdays, 4 weeks ago we gave up 19 runs. 2 weeks ago we gave up 19 runs.
Yeah.
And yesterday we gave up 6 in the first 2 innings, and we all looked at each other and said,
"Uh-oh,
here we go again." But we ended up only giving up 8 last night. So
take that.
Things are looking up on Tuesdays now.
Before we got to get to some recruiting stuff here in a second.
Sure.
How do you feel about Trey Taylor getting his 5th star for Nebraska football? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Obviously a great year for Husker sports.
It has.
Great year for sports in the state, just if you want to get down to it. Amateur, both high school and college as well as pro.
Supernova's making it to the championship game.
Absolutely. And the continued growth of Love Nebraska, and then obviously announcement for Union Soccer Stadium. And this is the first full year with DBH really owning baseball. So a lot of positive things happening. And 5 stars. Let's take it.
Yes.
Let's take it.
Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely.
We're so happy to be here.
So, but we're going to get you on the field one of the future games.
Yes.
So
I believe
we want to see if he can be as successful as one Connor Happer.
July 17th,
we'll
I
see.
believe, is the official day that I will be here.
Okay.
To throw out a first pitch,
Is
I
it?
believe, or the zone night, I believe, is what we're doing on the 17th.
Got it. Okay.
Was I allowed to announce that? I don't know if
Everything
I was allowed to
Nebraska
announce
night,
that.
July 17th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
will be here.
Yeah.
I think I have a torn labrum in my right shoulder.
So you're going to throw lefty?
No, I'm going to throw righty. I'll get it over the plate. I don't think it'll be very fast, but I think I'll get it over the plate. Marty Cordero,
All right.
president of the Omaha Storm Chasers.
Glad to have you guys here.
You guys are the
We'll
best.
get you some food.
Yes. We'll take anything, We do love a team wiener, but we'll take anything you give us.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
kidding. That'd be a little bit too much for us.
let-
That'd be a lot of food.
I don't know.
We'd probably start handing it out to the ballpark.
Well,
here.
maybe so.
Okay. Good
Maybe
man.
so.
All right. I'll
See you guys. Yes.
Trey Taylor, 5 stars according to 24/7 Sports. Congratulations to The Millard South quarterback, the former Carmel Catholic and Mundelein, Illinois quarterback Trey, the number 8 overall prospect, according to 24/7 in this recruiting class.
Number 8,
I believe. I think Dylan was 7.
Oh,
I think he was 7.
okay.
I don't remember. I will have to. We'll look that up during the break at some point. But Michael Brunt's on Twitter reporting that Trey Taylor a 5-star. I mean, look. I actually think this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah, it was it seemed to be
fun.
A personal goal
like,
for him, and
like
he hit it.
You already have the commitment, right? I mean, it's a little different. There is a difference between getting the commitment of a guy when he's a 5-star and getting the commitment and then him becoming a 5-star, right? They communicate 2 different things. When you get a guy when he's a 5-star, it communicates that you have tip-top recruiting skills, that you can go and get one of the best players in the country and convince them, hey, when your stock has never been higher, right, you are going to commit to us and you want to play for us. Because when you're a 5-star, every team in the country, it seems like, is going after that player. When you have a player, though, who commits to you at a lower ranking and then ends up getting that higher ranking, what does that communicate to you? Good evaluation. You know, I'm not saying they bought low on Trey Taylor by any stretch of the imagination. He had an LSU offer, an Oklahoma offer, a Michigan offer. Like, he had top offers already, and hell, Ohio State is still trying to make a run at him, despite the fact that he has made it very clear that he isn't going anywhere. But it does communicate to you that, you know, they obviously saw something in Trey Taylor when they first got him to commit to the University of Nebraska and really planting their roots in Illinois, which they've done a very good job of trying to get back into Illinois and get more prospects from there. But the fact that he's earned this rating, it's a personal goal for the kid. I like it. I like it when kids set goals out for themselves and they go and accomplish it. He's accomplished that. So congratulations to Trey Taylor. I'm sure it'll be a sense of pride, too, for Nebraska fans that, hey, Nebraska's recruiting ranking is about to go up. Their team ranking is going to go up because of the quality of their prospect has gone up. Also, too, you know, Nebraska is in a time in their program where getting 5-star commits is not a common thing, right? I mean, it's common for Georgia. It's common for Alabama. It's common for USC. It's not a common thing for Nebraska. And so we talked about this a little bit with Dylan, and while it holds a little bit less true with Trey because you've already been through it once before, Nebraska, it is a tool for them to be able to boast that they have a 5-star prospect on their roster, despite the fact that Matt Rule is 19-19 in his tenure at Nebraska. It goes to show you that, you know, Matt Rule and his staff are pretty good at recruiting, you know, especially when they put a lot of time, effort, and resources into it. I think the detractors of Matt Rule's recruiting chops will show you the class of 2026, which, albeit, yes, lackluster in terms of ranking, but I think that was a numbers thing. I know that was kind of a numbers conversation. They knew that they weren't going to get a lot of prospects, but because of that, they put a lot of time in 2027. They put a lot of resources in 2027, and they went ahead. They got this kid, which I still think I'll say this. Trey Taylor is by far, and maybe this is not a hot take, but I think this is just set in stone more than ever now that he's got his 5th star. He is the best prospect that they've gotten in Matt Rule's tenure.
Okay,
he's better. This is a bigger get than Dylan. I'll tell you why this is a bigger get than Dylan, because Trey's dad is not
you had to convince him to. There wasn't anything built in that you could work off of.
Trey Taylor's dad is not JR is not a Hall of Fame Nebraska player. Okay. Trey Taylor's dad, you know, his name is not up at Memorial Stadium, right?
But if he would like us to put it up there,
no, that's not how it works.
I'm sure we could talk and work something out.
Unless he gives an unprecedented gift. Unprecedented gifts rewrite history in college sports. But like I was saying, it's just so impressive because they had to get it on the ground floor with him. They had to do as much work as everybody else had to do, and they were able to connect with him on a level that other teams weren't able to do. And funny enough, they've been able to do that with Ahmad Hudson as well. I mean, it is – I'll say this. at some point you got to stop coming in second, and your wins just have to be wins. Even if Ahmad Hudson, though, doesn't end up at Nebraska, I still think it's quite remarkable that they're in as deep with him as they are, considering the fact that Ahmad does have all of the other things going for him in terms of committing to LSU.
In today's game, you always have to keep kindling that fire, right? Because you never know.
Great point, Josh.
After a season, after 2 seasons, he might become available again, and you might have to flirt with him again, right?
I think one of the best local examples is someone that we talked about with John Walker, Oswin Arunse. Creighton went after him in basketball. They couldn't get him. He picked Providence. They did not burn that bridge, right? They did not burn that bridge. And funny enough, hosting Blue Jay overtime with Joey Colbert last season, after that first Providence game, I forget which assistant coach. I think it might have been Coach Murfeld. I think it was Coach Murfeld who came on, and he was very complimentary of Oswin and very like, hey, we know him. We know what Oswin can do. We know the type of player he is. And them speaking as highly, right, communicated to me that, this could be a guy, maybe they're interested in. He gets in the portal, they go and get him. So you're right. What if things go bad at LSU? What if there's a terrible thing that happens in terms of a scandal? That would never happen under the current, powers of LSU.
Wade would never.
Neither would Lane Kiffin or Jeff Landry. Who could ever think that LSU might have a scandal in the next couple of years that forces people out of being a Tiger? So keeping those things together, but more importantly, Trey Taylor accomplishes his goal. 5-star quarterback, number 8 prospect in the country, according to 24/7. Not a 5-star for Rivals, by the way. Number 44, according to Rivals.
Get Tim on the phone.
We could get Tim on the phone. We might get Tim on the phone during the College World Series. That could be a lot of fun. Or we just see Timmy V at the College World Series. That would be even more fun.
That would be more fun.
Do you know what is fun? The odd news with Josh Oddson.
Sometimes.
We banged it yesterday. We did not do it. Alex Sindelar and Tay noticed. To make up for them, we will have an elongated odd news. Coming up next here on Middays with Matt.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, before we get to the odd news, just give me 1 minute, here.
Please.
Just a little bit of an update. Trey Taylor, according to 24/7 Sports, 5-star quarterback. Something to note here, Josh Hodson, the number 1 quarterback in the country. No quarterback ranked higher than Trey Taylor, who's at number 8.
Wow.
Here's another point, and I don't know if Trey thinks this personally, but I have to think with the type of competitor he is, this does matter to him, what I'm about to tell you. Israel Abrams, all right? That's a name. Keep that out there for all you big college football fans. Israel Abrams. He is the number 9 prospect in the country, also a 5-star quarterback. He's the number 2 quarterback in the country in 2027 behind Trey Taylor. He is committed to Miami. He plays at Montini Catholic in Illinois.
Wow.
For an extended period of time.
Why can't Brett Bielema keep any of these players?
Trey Taylor was not the best quarterback in Illinois. It was Israel Abrams.
Okay.
And Trey played Israel. Montini Catholic played Carmel Catholic. Israel won 55-54 in an absolute shootout between Carmel and Montini. I'm sure it does matter to Trey.
Yeah.
If I had to guess that, yes, he's in Nebraska now. Yes, he's not going to play Montini this year, but if he were still to be in Illinois, he would be the number 1 quarterback in the state and not Abrams.
Familiarity breeds contempt, right?
1,000,000%. So just a quick little tidbit there that I can give you. Let's do the odd news with Josh Hudson. Do we have a Florida story?
We do. That's where we start things.
Okay. We will go woman.
Yes.
Convenience store.
Ooh,
public indecency is what I will go.
Those are all great guesses.
Thank you.
You would be wrong.
I'm never going to get one right.
I'll give you the gist of it here. It's a longer article than we're used to. Lady gets a text on her phone. She's an older lady. She's 76 years young. Hi, this is Liam Neeson.
Oh, no.
I need money. Please give me money. I'm Liam Neeson. She says, well,
I have a particular set of skills.
Liam Neeson needs my money. Who am I to say no?
How does this work?
I don't know.
How does this work?
Know.
How do people fall for this?
If you're listening to the radio right now, or educate your elderly parents about fraud, okay?
My dad almost got caught, all right? He's in his 60s. He almost got caught. And he emailed me something. I go, this is fake. Stop it.
So that's not the reason this is on the odd.
Oh, no.
The son comes over and says, Ma, what are you doing? You can't be giving Liam Neeson money. It's not Liam Neeson. And she won't give up the phone.
And it's actually Liam Neeson?
No.
Oh,
that would make it on the odd news as well. But he takes the phone from her. He physically removes the phone from her hands, and she assaults him because Liam Neeson needs my money.
Good God. So does the son call the cops on his mother?
Yes.
What an idiot. That guy's an idiot, too. Don't call the cops on your mom.
Well,
on your 76-year-old
she's not listening.
mom.
She keeps wiring Liam Neeson money.
My God. I guess I don't know the family dynamics, so I can't be judgmental. But that's okay. So he calls the cops on his own mother because of Liam Neeson. Then what happens?
Mom was arrested on a misdemeanor charge.
Oh, my God.
Booked into the county jail.
No way.
Released on a $250 bond.
Did the son pay the bond?
I don't know who paid it, but
that'd be crazy if the son had his mom booked and then paid the bond.
Yeah.
It was like, did you learn your lesson?
What'd you learn? This is the first time or the last time we have this conversation.
Did they scare the 76-year-old woman straight?
It seems that way. We go to Denmark.
Oh, that's always a fun place to go. I like Denmark.
They had their national mullet championships over the weekend.
They got good hair in Denmark.
Yeah, a packed Danish crowd celebrated the mullet. A raucous crowd, this article says.
Did Bork Johansson end up winning or something?
12 well-coiffed competitors and more than 1,000 spectators with nothing better to do. Organizer Stefan
Jorgensen
Weber, a 37-year-old electrician, said the championships now in their 4th year began after he had a hair transplant.
So is that performance-enhancing drugs?
I would
having
think
a hair
so.
transplant? I don't think that's not with the spirit of the rule.
And he said, I got such great flow. I'm going to go to the U.S. and compete in their mullet championships. Well,
and he got wiped that bad. He got killed.
Turns out you have to be an American citizen to compete in the mullet championships in America. So he started his own in Denmark. And,
so now we have the Euros for mullet challenge.
Yeah, it seems that way. Who won this thing?
Probably, like I said, probably Stev Jorgensen.
43-year-old construction worker Thomas Berg eventually took home the top prize.
Is it Thomas with no H, by the way?
It is. It has an H.
Oh, wow, really?
After he frantically jumped on a trampoline while clad in neon green gym wear.
Wait, so it's about performance?
There's a little, yeah, you got to put on a show.
There's a pageantry when it comes to the mullet competition?
At least in the Europe.
At least in the European, the EuroLeague rules is that you have to.
It used to be about the mullet.
Now it's all about pizzazz. What they're doing in Denmark is like what the Savannah Bananas did to baseball, but for hair.
Used to be about the baseball.
All right, our final odd news story of the day.
We go to Louisiana. Body cam video shows a Louisiana man being attacked by an alligator after allegedly jumping into a swamp to flee law enforcement.
I wonder what was going to happen.
You're in his home, buddy.
Yeah, what idiot. What a dummy.
40-year-old Victor Rivas was recklessly driving a Toyota Supra on I-10.
That, you know what? All of those sentences, all of those words put together make the most sense.
Investigators said the vehicle had also struck a concrete barrier, causing a tire blowout. Troopers located the man and followed him. While speaking with the man, troopers allegedly observed signs of impairment. During the DWI investigation, he ran from officers and jumped into the swamp.
You know what? Not a bad place to go to get away from the cops.
If there's no gator in there, you might not get away, but you're fine, right?
But it sounds like there was a gator.
Yes, there was.
And not Tim Tebow.
Right. He was attacked by an alligator, suffering injuries to both arms. Despite those injuries, he continued trying to evade officers before being taken into custody.
Imagine having a gator on your ass and you're still running away from the cops. By the way, it's quite impressive that Chef Joey's here.
Hey.
Well, that was a great odd news story.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.
There are multiple dishes.
We
here.
have a lot of things coming in here. We have brisket sandwich. That seems like macaroni salad, potato salad.
Wow.
I've been given is this a Euro? It's gator. Oh, I got gator with a nice little cabbage.
Just did a story about a gator.
And some pickled red onions. Look at that. So we're going to eat and take a break. And coming up next, Austin Jacobson of Herd at Sports will join us here on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Special day here on Middays with Matt. We are at Werner Park, just 6 minutes away from first pitch against the Las Vegas Aviators, taking on the Omaha Storm Chasers. We have just been greeted by Chef Joey of Werner Park, along with our concessions or Omaha's concession managers, Josh. They have given us an alligator sandwich, and freshly smoked brisket from this morning. So shout out to the Omaha Storm Chasers for feeding us. Like we said, a special show today at Werner Park, which means we have to bring in a special guest who will not be able to join us on Friday because he will be working the College World Series so diligently. But from Herd at Sports, one of our favorites, Austin Jacobson, joins Middays with Matt. AJ, how are you?
I'm great, Matthew. It is so good to see you. Glad you're amongst and out with the people.
Yes, out with the people. Some people say I don't get out with the people enough. That's actually a critique that people have on me. So I'm so happy that I could right that wrong and be out with some great Omaha-ins tonight, or today, rather.
I do like that. No, you look great, especially in a polo. I like you in a white polo.
Yeah. Would you like me to email you every time that we're supposed to meet together and see if what I'm wearing is applicable?
Matt and I are wearing the same shirt today.
Whoa. Did you guys,
today's an official event, so we wore our official polos.
Whose mom picked out the outfit?
My mom did not pick out this outfit. I cannot speak for Josh.
Okay.
I will just say that him and I at this point have been hosting together for 6 months. And so telepathically, we're getting to the point where we're just locked on. There have been multiple times where
I bet you and Josh aren't wearing the same shirt this afternoon.
I guarantee you're not locked in telepathically with them yet.
Probably not. Yeah, I just picked this one out of the old basket. Just tried to make sure that I had a clean shirt to be able to use. So we made it work. We made it work.
Are you the type of guy where it's like you will dry your clothes, but you're too lazy to take them out and fold them, so you'll pull them out of the dryer and just wear them from there?
Oh, no, I'm a 100%. We do the laundry. It gets put away all in the same process and day. Also, when I return home from vacations or trips, I unpack the bag the minute I get home, no matter how late, how early, whatever. That's got to be done right away, so that way the bag's just not sitting out.
Has that changed at all since you have had a girlfriend and now fiance? Has that changed? Did you used to be dirtier before you had a significant other, and have that changed you? I'm just wondering because I'm hoping that if I were to get a significant other one day, that would be an adjustment that would happen to me.
Well, since naturally, my fiance is a doctor, she works a little bit harder than I do, so I have to be the trad wife. So I cook, I clean, I do all that good stuff, but she does remind me that a lot of the cleaning needs to be done a little bit better. So I could work on that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is it a tight ship over there in the Jacobson household?
Yeah. And unfortunately it's her last name, not the Jacobson household, because, she runs it. So, yeah, it's a loose ship because there's only one captain, and then there's only one set of sea hands to be able to help. So the crew is minimal, and sometimes we lack energy and focus.
Some people call Austin Jacobson the young Colin Cowherd with his incredible analogies that he bestows to us on the radio. Funny enough, my friend, you and I have been around each other plenty this week, yet I haven't really talked any sports with you. It's just been a lot of you making jokes about me and putting words in my mouth. But I enjoy it as always. I'll give you the floor. Is there anything in sport that you would like to talk about? I don't really know what to ask you. What? Why are you laughing like that? I don't have prepared questions for you.
You're right. It's not like I've been on a sports show for the past 2 days. So you're asking me like, oh, I don't know what's happening the past, couple of 48 hours in sports. You tell me what's going on,
do you
Austin.
want me to ask you about Sorsby? Do you want me to ask you about the CWS? Do you want me to ask you about Pat McAfee or where you're going to be drinking? Are you going to go to the Blatt or Rocco's?
Austin, how does Trey Taylor getting a 5th star affect his season
that's
at Millard
such
South?
A boring question.
That is a great, actually, you know what, Josh, producer Josh, that is a great question, because young Matt should have asked, where does this help in Nebraska's statewide recruitment? How does this help, promote future athletes across this great state? Well, I would tell you, Josh, since you asked the question, that Trey Taylor being the first 5-star since Baker Steinkuhler to be an in-state recruit. You could also throw Jet Tamal in there, but he wasn't the consensus 5-star. But Baker being the 5-star from, I believe, Lincoln Southwest, and now you get Millard South's Trey Taylor to be a 5-star quarterback. It just, again, it justifies exactly why he made the move. This was kind of a little bit predicted that he was likely in that direction. And I know people will make the gripes that not a true Nebraska native, not true on the in-state borders, but a 5-star recruit still counts. And Nebraska football not only has one, but has one inside of their borders. I will lament the same thing that I've said many times before on this show and others, that with Trey Taylor getting more and more national attention, it does mean that good things will happen for other athletes in this state. And I'm really, really excited about that. Additional star does make a difference, because as big of a name as Trey Taylor is, a 5th star means just a little bit more.
I've always agreed with you in that prospect, that a lot of people have, I don't want to steal your word and say lamented, but there's been a lot of things that have been said about Millard South, right? And about, the talent that they've had. And, do we have to? Oh, I'm good. Okay. They're singing the national anthem right now. Let me take my hat off real quick, though.
You got it. Here, let me fill some time for you, Matthew. Don't you worry. You handle the national anthem.
Fill some time. Host the show.
Okay. All right. So here on Middays with Matt, I'm Austin Jacobson of Hurrdat Sports. Hey, lots of great stuff. College World Series is coming up. This is going to be my moment, and I really hope Mike Stibbs is in the chat listening about all the Jell-O shots and the potential records that could be broken at Rocco's. You won't believe all the Jell-O shots that will be going down. Who knows what could possibly happen when you get down to College World Series. My personal bet, I actually think Alabama is going to make a really good run of it. I am on the Roll Tide train, mainly because Grand Island's Tyler Fay will be one of the elite pitchers that shows up at the Chuck here this upcoming week. So be on the lookout for, obviously, Grand Island Senior High, a little bit more purple, gold, and white that could be in the crowd mixed in with that Crimson Tide. But you know what? There's also some Kearney High love. We've also got Cal Higgins pitching for Texas. Hopefully he can get some action in there too. So yeah, a lot of Central Nebraska, Western Nebraska love that will come into this year's College World Series. Again, back to the biggest topic at hand. It has to be Alabama, not only for me to win the College World Series, but to also take the Jell-O Shot Challenge. Pat McAfee is going to put on a good show on Friday. West Virginia is going to get a good buzz from there, but the people of Bama are going to roll in with plenty of Jell-O shots to buy. Matt, back to you.
Thank you, Austin Jacobson, for hosting the show, because everybody would like to know who's going to win the Jell-O Shot Challenge.
Yeah,
that is the biggest question we have.
It's very funny because I'm talking with my sources inside of the Jell-O Shot bar, and they have told me they've renamed it.
What is it? Just a bunch of regulars you drink with?
They've renamed it to the Mike Stibbs Jell-O Shot Challenge, and I would like to be the first one to share how lucky we are as a local resident, Mike Stibbs, to have such an honor named after him. What a big day for the city of Omaha.
It's a fine tribute to a guy gone too soon.
I agree. The Mike Stibbs Memorial Jell-O Shot Challenge.
The Jell-O Shot Challenge getting some local hate is very funny to me, because I've seen it happen with other landmarks that I grew up with. Like, everybody in Chicago hates the bean. A lot of people in Chicago are now like, they're crusading against deep dish pizza and trying to tell you that it's tavern style pizza is what Chicago is known for. This is kind of Omaha's version, with some locals being like, oh, the Jell-O Shot Challenge, this, that, whatever. It's still a big deal. It's still great. I still have people who have never been to Nebraska who would eventually like to come and visit me at the College World Series, and the first thing they talk about is the Jell-O Shot Challenge. Yes, the baseball is the event, but I think the fact that that exists and that the people at Rocco's were able to do such a good job creating it and then reorganizing it again and again and again and adapting with it has been uberly impressive. It's been uberly impressive. To have something like that attached to the event, is great for the event. It's great for Rocco's, but it's also good for the event.
I don't think uberly is a word.
You don't think uberly?
I think Uber is the word. I don't think you can add the ly to the end. I'm going to ask Jacob Padilla about this later.
No, I can't look that up. Wait, I got to go.
Whoa, what tabs do you have open? Matt, you're in public. You can't be looking at that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. See, this is what you and Peterson do. You've picked this up from Peterson, where I say something, and then you're like, oh, it means this thing. No, it doesn't mean that I'm looking up inappropriate things.
Uberly is an informal adverb that means extremely, very much, or to an excessive superior degree.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad. Appreciate that.
Though. I think that's a smart way of saying it's not actually a word.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, you were so close, Matt. You're so close. Oh, dang it.
I wasn't the one here on the pedestal trying to argue for Uberly to be the word. You're the one who questioned it. Are you good at Scrabble?
I haven't played Scrabble in a long time. That's a good question. Is that Michael Severe asked me on Friday if I had played Wordle. So this is now back-to-back interviews that I've done on your show where someone has asked me about word games.
It is one of those things. I'd love to get your take on what do you think of bars that have board games readily available for you to play?
Yeah,
are you anti or pro board game bar guy?
I'm not big on like board games. I maybe are you talking like not yard games, but like table games, not like people are playing Monopoly, or what do you mean?
Yeah, table games. Like you can go to a bar and you can play Battleship, or you can go to the bar and play Clue with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, so if people are sitting at a bar and I walk up and they're playing Clue, I'm not hanging out with that group of people, especially if they were my friends. That is, I don't need to know next to your pale ale that you did it in the bathroom with the chandelier. Not for me. But like Battleship, I could get behind. And again, like if you're going to a local establishment here inside of the OBV and you're like, hey man, let's rock some Battleship and do a Jello shot. That rocks. I'm 100% for that.
Yeah. I think I could crush some beers and play Battleship. I could do that for sure.
Maybe we do that. Beers and Battleship. Should we rename our show?
Beers and episode 1 of our unrecorded podcast. Beers and Battleship.
We could do a live stream of both of our screens and see who helps who.
Let's talk about Millard South and Omaha West Side real quick. Those are the two teams that are going to be atop of the Nebraska high school football rankings when we get to it. You know, you and Michael did a good job yesterday talking about the differences between the two teams. Millard South a little bit younger heading into this year. West Side still, they have a great quarterback in their own right? We spent a lot of time talking about Trey Taylor, but Braylon Warren has been right there at the Elite 11 camps, has been right there as a highly touted prospect, also going to a Power 5 school in Missouri in the SEC. Outside of who do you like? I think this is the most interesting question for me. Obviously, it's West Side and Millard South. Who's the next team after that? Like, is it Millard North because they've made a lot of really good additions? Getting guys from other schools. Is it Papio South? Do you think they've reloaded after making it to the Class A final last year? Who is kind of that other? Who starts that other tier of teams? Is I guess my question to you, Austin Jacobs.
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that I've been trying to kind of sift through. I don't want to give too much insight into it just because I haven't gotten a chance to watch a lot of the, camps and stuff that are going on right now. I'll have a better feel for it when we get into August, but generally speaking, you have to like the talent that Millard North has brought back in. A lot of people would pencil them into number 3. Torrey Pittman and moved from Omaha Central to Millard North. So obviously you get a 5-star, 4-star consensus Husker commit that is going to be playing your defensive backfield and receiver. Pretty good. You add in that they have a pretty solid offensive line and guys that are coming back that gained some pretty pivotal experience from a year ago. I mentioned it with Michael on Friday that I thought that there was just some things that concerned me about what Millard North kind of went through their rough and kind of tumble start to the season. If they improve upon that, they will be probably in that 3rd or 4th spot, definitely in that upper tier of who's next in Class A. I always feel confident saying Creighton Prep is always going to be competitive and in that spot too. And Creighton Prep's going to open the season with West Side. We're going to learn a lot about both those teams. A lot of people will probably pencil in a West Side victory there. And listen, I wouldn't argue with that by any means, but West Side's not going to listen to that narrative, and Creighton Prep's for sure not going to listen to that narrative either. If you're looking for consistency on that side, I do like it. I also, weirdly enough, I kind of am just on the outside peeking in on Elkhorn South a lot because they lose Jaden Sutko. They lose a heavy senior class, a lot like you mentioned with Papio South. but something about the way that their team has just kind of routinely restructured, kind of refocused and refit themselves. They had some good junior pieces that I think can take that next step as a senior. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Who is that next tier of the top of maybe tier 2 in Class A is very, very intriguing to me. I do have to give one little itty bitty shout out, of course, to our Central Nebraska listeners as well. Kearney High should not be written out just because Brandon Kuhl retired over the offseason. I think that they have some intriguing pieces in there too, but it is a little bit of a down cycle here for Kearney High, just in terms of some of the boys' talent and athletes. But the football team always seems to rise above that in certain ways, and we'll see if the Kuhl regime and the new coach that they have in place will be able to kind of continue the success that they've had.
You know, lucky enough last year with John Schreiner to announce a lot of high school football games here in Nebraska. We got Millard North very early on in the season, and they were not good. I'll just be real with you. They were not a good football team. They had holes in the offensive line. They weren't able. I just don't think they really knew what their identity was. And then as the season had gone on, we called more Millard North game, and I was lucky enough to get to know Coach Alan Burrell a little bit more. And it just seemed like as the weeks had gone on, they just kind of found out who they were. You know, they figured out their identity. They started going back to some of the old school Millard North things that they were doing in terms of, you know, power running the ball and really, you know, making that the core foundation of their offense. And then, you know, the talent that they added, Pittman, you know, a 4-star guy for Nebraska, is a phenomenal addition for that school. I love your Elkhorn South shout. Guy Rosenberg is just one hell of a coach, right? I mean,
Guy rocks. And also, if you're going to pick a way to win, same thing like we talked about with Creighton Prep. They love to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. Their right-on formation is legendary with Cole Ballard back a few years ago. I mean, they're a team that's going to be very, very, very tough to beat. I will add this, too, just on Millard North to kind of wrap that. There is something, and this is more of a smaller school thing, but I think that there is something to say about the continuation of success in other sports when it continues in high school sports. Millard North, pretty good in basketball this past year, made a state tournament. You look at what they did in baseball, obviously winning a state championship in that sport. You carry over what you did. And yeah, there's not a direct correlation between the baseball team's success, the athletes that they had compared to football. But listen, you get one boat rowing in the right direction. A lot of other things seem to go that way. Lincoln Southwest carried that this past year in girls and boys sports. I would maybe expect to see a little bit more confidence and some juice for the Mustangs as they head into 2026.
Well, I think, too, like, I've seen that happen with my own graduating class when I was in high school. It seemed like we were all kind of contagious to one another. And you start competing with one another in a way. You see the basketball teams doing great. You want to have that success in your own sport as well. And also, too, you know, if you're good at football, if some of your football players end up playing basketball and they're just good athletes, that's going to have some osmosis as well. Here's a question that I have for you that I've kind of come up with right now, and I'm excited to hear you answer it. Last year, I feel like it was a lot about the running backs when it came to high school football in the state, right? Tay Jenkins, you brought up Jaden Sucko, Jerron Cannon over for Omaha North. Like, there was a lot of, and God, I'm blanking on the, forgive me, the running back for Omaha Central.
Yasir Grigsby?
I forget. Yes, him. I mean, there was some really, really good running backs throughout the entirety of Nebraska high school football last year. Do you think that there's a position, and maybe it's quarterback, maybe it's just Warren and Taylor, but do you think there's a position like that in prep high school football this year where you look at the linebackers or the corners or the DBs and you say, wow, that position group is chock full of talent throughout the state? Has that shown itself to you yet, or do you think we're going to have to find that out as we get closer to the season?
Man, that is a great question, and one that I had not thought of. That I may take some time and get back to you on that the next time we talk, because
talk to your guys about it.
That's a really good one.
I would love to know.
To answer right off the cuff, I think the easy answer and probably the right answer is truly quarterback, because we have not seen the level of talent that we've had. But when you keep going down the list, I think when we get into week 7, 8, maybe we'll see where the quarterback plays through the rest of the state. But the problem is on some of the lower classes, you did graduate a Derek Tonjes from Ashland Greenwood. You moved on from a couple of other state championship winning quarterbacks. Parker Zickman is graduated from Central City. So a couple of key extra pieces that add on to kind of the depth of the position there. You know, what's funny is I think that this actually is a very underrated offensive line class. Micah Santiago that's at Westside. You also add in, he's a more defensive lineman that will get recruitment, but Justin Parrish on the offensive line for Westside as well. Barrett Kittrell will be at Ashland Greenwood. You kind of keep moving down the line from there. There are some pretty good offensive linemen comparative to what we've seen. And I didn't even include, I mean, Matt Erickson's a Husker, so that's just in Class A and C1. Yeah, that's a really, really, really interesting thought and something that I hadn't really considered yet. So yeah, I give me 2 weeks when we talk again after College World Series is wrapped up, and I'd like to sink my teeth into that a little bit more, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm excited to talk high school football with you just because it's something that I was able to dip my toe in last year, announcing the games. I'm excited to get back into it because I feel like I'm coming into a great time to try and get baptized in Nebraska high school football with just all of the talent that is coming throughout the state. And it will continue to be a conversation, Austin Jacobson, about the Nebraska Cornhuskers and how many in-state guys that they're going to take and, you know, how much do they invest when it comes to in-state recruiting, because over the last, you know, couple of years now, we're seeing so many guys go to Iowa State, go to Penn State, you know, go to other schools across the country. And I know 26 was a bit of a numbers game when it came to Nebraska football, but it'll be interesting to see as the Nebraska high school football talent goes up, what is the investment from Nebraska football? So that'll be very interesting to talk about. Real quick, we have a prompt coming up. It's our next segment, but I would like to get a shout from you. I'm going to do the top 10 athletes who haven't won a title, who need to win a title. Do you have one off the top of your head, top 10 athlete that needs to win a title? And he's gone.
Where'd he go?
I think he froze.
Oh, no. Oh,
and
I'm back.
He's now gone.
Okay.
Well, that was
We'll never
disappointing.
know.
We never will know. We'll have him text it to us.
Yeah.
Austin Jacobson of Hurrdat Sports, the best. He will be joining us for the College World Series. He'll actually,
I've heard this.
He's slotted to join us and have an interview with us at 12 o'clock on Sunday. So looking forward to talking to Austin. Then coming up next.
And you can hear him on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Oh, is he going to be on today too?
Yeah.
Is he the whole week?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for Austin.
He did us a solid.
Good for him. Well, he'll be on a whole week for Middays with Matt. So Austin Jacobson, get used to him. 1620 The Zone Radio Network, one of the best in the business. Coming up next, we talk about the top 10 athletes who need to win a title here on Middays with Matt.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
And don't forget to go online to 1620thezone.com to win the following contest. The Oddly Crew in Omaha, the Black Keys also as well in the Metro at the Astro Amphitheater. The Young Giant will be at the Astro as well on August 3rd. Chris Stapleton will be in Lincoln in October for the All-American Road Show Tour, along with Motionless in White coming to Omaha in November. And never too early to get ahead of your December plans. Bert Kreischer at the Mid-America Center, December 6th. Go to 1620zone.com for a chance to enter yourself to win your way to one of those shows. We are currently in the top of the second inning here as the Omaha Storm Chasers are leading the Las Vegas Aviators 1-0. Omaha had the bases loaded with no out in the bottom of the first inning. Unfortunately, only able to get one run to cross the plate on a sacrifice fly. A bloop out to center, followed up by a lazy fly ball, also out to center, is what ended the inning. So Omaha leading 1-0 here as Middays with Matt is at Werner Park. It is a Wacky Guest Wednesday here on 1620 The Zone. At 1 o'clock, we'll have a wacky guest join us. We do not know, or at least I do not know, who our wacky guest is going to be. Josh Hodson has had this person booked for months.
Yeah. Generally. Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking.
I've known what I wanted to do
for quite a while.
Slot for quite a while.
So we will have our wacky guest on at 1 o'clock. Don't forget to go to our radio replays and check out our great interviews with Austin Jacobson of Her Dad Sports and John Walker of the Omaha World Herald. Big news today so far has been Trey Taylor, the former Illinois Carmel Catholic High School quarterback, now the Millard South High School quarterback, earning his 5th star today, according to 24/7 Sports. Still a 4-star recruit, according to Rivals. So we'll see if Tim Verghese will have a very stern email sent to Tim saying, give our boy his 5th star. But Trey Taylor becomes the first 5th star since Dylan Raiola to be committed to the Nebraska
way back when
Corn Huskers. So that has been the news of the day so far. Also, pretty big news today. Game 4 of what has been a highly touted and very tightly contested NBA Finals will take place later
Wu-Tang
tonight.
at halftime.
Really?
Yep.
The Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah.
The RZA? The Fizza?
I don't know which members, but they have said Wu-Tang at halftime. And Wu-Tang is for the children. We all know this.
In 1 minute, defensive lineman Nehemiah Ambati, a defensive lineman from Minnesota, will decide where he is going to college. His options are as follows. It is Missouri and Nebraska are the two potential teams that Ambati will be deciding between. He's currently in Michigan State, the third team as well. That he could potentially be committing to. That is hammered by Jared Dickey off of the Rotella's Italian Bakery sign in left center.
That's a
field.
two-bagger.
A double for Mr. Dickey, who's hitting 294 of the year with 3 home runs, 16 RBIs.
Watch out, Nick Batters.
As Nehemiah Mbati, a couple minutes away here from deciding where he will be going to school, the 4-star D lineman. Missouri has been on quite the roll when it comes to recruiting. They've picked up, along with Nebraska, plenty of high-quality prospects. Nebraska's been competing plenty with Eli Drinkowitz. This will be a big one. D-line, just defense in general, has been just slightly lacking, especially up front for Nebraska. It's taken a lot for them to get the linebacker prospects that they want. Their board kind of shrunk after they went after 2 Illinois linebackers and lost them both to Michigan State. Could Pat Fitzgerald and the Spartans steal another defensive prospect away from Matt Rule? We will find out here. It's on Rivals' YouTube page, Mbati's commitment. So could be a pretty big get here for the Cornhuskers. Let's actually go and look. I don't know if they have another 4-star recruit at the D-line position. We'll just see here before we get into our big segment, ranking the top 10 athletes who need to win a title. Let me just look this up real quick. 2027, CFB, Nebraska recruiting. If that's a fly ball in the left center field, drops down. Dickey goes to third with Brian Lavastida on a nice little bloop single. Couldn't have thrown it out there any better, Josh Hodson, as he will be safe at first. So there's runners on the corners with one out here for the Aviators, as a rocket out to left center field for a double. A nice little bloop single has Las Vegas in
now you got to be careful with Drew Swift at the dish.
As Swift, he's hitting .265 on the season. No homers for Mr. Swift. The Aviators hoping that his last name could be his first name in terms of how he runs around the bases. That's as they're looking to tie up this game in an advantageous situation. Swift at the dish, awaits the pitch, swings on it. It's a ground ball to first base, steps on the bat for one, goes to home. Dickey caught it a rundown. Dickey going back to third, tossed back to third. Dickey gonna get tagged out as runners will move to third. And that'll be the final out of the inning. See, I wasn't keeping track of the outs.
Well, you don't have a scorebook.
That's why Nick Batters will always be better than me in play-by-play. As Nebraska, according to On3, has not, I guess is different because 24/7. Nebraska right now, the 20th ranked recruiting class, according to On3 in 2027. They do not have any 4-star defensive linemen. So Ambati could be the very first for the Cornhuskers as we are awaiting his decision that has not gone live just yet. All righty. Top 10 athletes that need to win a title. Top 10 athletes more than anybody that need to win a title for their legacy so that they can become the players that we believe that they can become. Number 10. I've kind of copped out here. Okay, at number 10.
A cop out right away?
My 10th athlete is any $50 to $60 million quarterback. Okay? Any quarterback that is making $50 to above $60 million who has not won a Super Bowl yet needs to win one. Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott.
Wow.
Just to name a few. Tua Tagovailoa at one point was of that value. If you, did I say Trevor Lawrence already?
You did.
If you are one of those quarterbacks who are making that amount of money, if you're making that much cash, you need to win a Super Bowl immediately.
I assume that the Josh Allens and the Lamar Jacksons are coming later in the list.
We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Number 9, Caitlin Clark. Very funny to talk about Caitlin Clark on the show, a long-standing bit with you and your ex-co-host.
We're going to get
your
to
ex-wife.
When the time is right.
Caitlin Clark needs to win a title. For herself, for the WNBA, for the rekindling of that league's popularity and her own popularity. She has not been shooting the ball well.
They would see a nice little ratings bump.
If she was just even were to make a playoff run.
Yeah.
Believe the Fever are now 6-5 on the season. Clark did hit a buzzer beater the other night, but has not shot the ball incredibly efficiently this season, under 40% from the field. Not shooting the three very well either. I think she's still trying to adjust the play, but her popularity at one point rivaled that of everybody in any sport, as that is a long fly ball that the wind just carries out of here at Werner Park. A homer for the Omaha Storm Chasers. They go up 2-0. Caitlin Clark needs to win a title. She needs to win a title for herself. She needs to win a title for the Fever. She needs to win a title for the WNBA to rekindle that popularity. Number 8, we dip into hockey. Austin Matthews, prime candidate who needs to win a title. Toronto Maple Leaf.
Is this the highest ranked hockey player?
No, it is not the highest ranked hockey player.
Because I had a different one in my mind.
It is the second highest ranked hockey player who needs to win the title. Look, Austin Matthews is one of the best quarterbacks or one of the best hockey players in the NHL. As
Nebraska,
he's committed.
We got him.
Nehemiah Ambati is committed to Nebraska, the 4-star defensive lineman. He needs to get a bigger hat. That thing barely fits his head.
You got to call rule.
Nice commitment for Nebraska. Tim Verghese, team clap for Tim. You 3, 2, 1. Then you clap.
That was all me.
Team clap. Tim had a prediction for Nehemiah Ambati to commit to Nebraska. So we like it when our sources end up
I love it when my sources are correct.
Exactly.
Because I run with whatever my sources say.
So
I do not resource it.
Big day for Nebraska recruiting as Trey
Mm-hmm.
Taylor gets his 5th star and Mbati, the 4-star defensive lineman, commits to Nebraska. Number 7. You might disagree with this one.
Whoa.
7th athlete who needs to win a title. Aaron Judge.
I don't disagree with
Titles don't matter as much in baseball as they do other sports.
They matter with the Yankees, though.
With the Yankees, they do. If you're on the Yankees, if you're the captain of the Yankees, if you're the outfielder for the Yankees, if you're wearing number 99, if you have been...
They have such a history that you can't rise up the ranks if you don't have one.
And also, too, like he is the best American-born hitter right now.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe not player. You probably might put a pitcher ahead of him.
I might put Bobby Witt as a player ahead of him.
Okay. But hitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a big deal. He's a superstar.
Sure.
He's everywhere.
New York market. I get it. Yeah.
He needs to win a title. Number 7. Number 6. The state of Minnesota.
Oh.
For those people.
Oh, yes.
Any of those athletes.
Good,
all right.
Good pull.
Any of them. Quinn Hughes. All right. Kaprizov. Anthony Edwards. Not J.J. McCarthy. What a joke. But, Kyler Murray. Any of those. Just the entire state of Minnesota. One of you MFers just needs to win a title. I have a lot of Minnesota people.
The Lynx and their titles were not enough.
No, they're not. Okay. I have a lot of Minnesota people in my life. All right.
You do.
They are inherently miserable.
Always.
Because of their teams being awful. I need, just for my sake and their sake, Minnesota to win some sort of pro sports title. Number 4. Or number 5, rather. 5. Joe Burrow. This is where we begin the Patrick Mahomes graveyard. Okay?
Okay.
This is where we start of, too bad you are playing in the same era as a quarterback as number 10.
Right. We got 5 slots left, 3 quarterbacks and a hockey player.
No, there's one more basketball player.
Okay.
There's one more basketball player. Now, the reason why, that's another homer. Wow, you just send that out to left field. The wind is going to take that. When we first got here, the wind was blowing in.
It was.
It's now northeast directly out of the ballpark. You get the ball up towards
it'll carry
right field, you are going to get some homers today. That's another homer, the second homer of the inning for the Omaha Storm Chasers. Now 3-1 our score. They lead Vegas. Joe Burrow kind of gets a pass because he beat Pat. Because he made that Super Bowl.
Two-way Super Bowl.
It's been 2-way Super Bowl. And so because of that, I have him ranked below the other quarterbacks in the Patrick Mahomes graveyard.
And I'm fine with that.
He still needs to win one.
Yeah.
He's still, if you are considered to be tier 1 quarterback, considered to be the top 4 quarterback in this era of the NFL, you need a Super Bowl.
Right now, he just needs to stay healthy.
Right now, he just needs to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay? They have not done that nearly enough. So Joe Burrow, number 5. Number 4 doesn't so much have to do with where he plays like Judge, as much as just it has to do with he's kind of the next one in terms of superstars in the NBA. Luka Doncic, I have as my number 4 athlete who needs to win a title. The thing with Luka is just that, like, this era of NBA basketball where we've had so many different winners, right? We're going to have another new NBA champion this year between the Knicks or the Spurs. Everyone's kind of got one. Jokic has got one. Tatum has got one. Antetokounmpo has gotten one, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's gotten his. Everybody else who's considered to be an elite player in this era,
except Joel Embiid, loser.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
I respect that. But everybody else has gotten one. Luka needs to get his. Luka needs to get his. I didn't put Joel Embiid on here because I don't think he's relevant enough. I'm sorry.
He's not relevant
I'm
enough.
sorry. You got to play basketball in order to make the list. You actually have to play your sport in order for you to be on this list.
Matt.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Now, he has gotten less opportunities to actually beat Pat and to get it done. He's had some problems with the Titans and the Chargers somehow.
Titans.
I know. But I just think that, once again, 2-time MVP, historic talent, groundbreaking talent, future Hall of Famer. I mean, and I'll just spoil who's number 2 on this list. It's Josh Allen.
Oh.
Josh Allen has the opportunity. Who's Karl Malone and who is Charles Barkley? between Allen and Jackson. Like that that is the career those two are going.
Which one
on.
of those is more problematic? They get to be Malone.
I'm more so talking about them as a player. Them as an all-time player. Sorry, should I pick? Well, Gary Payton ended up winning one.
Yeah.
But
could any of them be? Could any of them moonlight as a wrestler? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? Karl Malone did.
Who's Booker T? And who's, because he only won one world championship. I don't know. I don't know if he can moonlight as a wrestler.
Mixing metaphors here. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll just say this. One of them's got to be Hakeem, right? Like Hakeem won the 2 titles.
Yeah.
Hakeem got his in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of them is going to be Hakeem? Which one of them is going to be the one who wins in the era that Jordan was also in? Right? Allen and Lamar Jackson are just 2 quarterbacks who are future Hall of Famers. They will have Bustin' Cannon. Yet, not only have neither of them won a Super Bowl, neither of them have been to a Super Bowl.
That's right.
And Josh has had some pretty prime opportunities to get that done, whether it be against Pat Mahomes or whether it was last year. He did lose that game to Denver, okay?
Yep.
Is he the first person you blame? Probably not. Was that a prime opportunity for him to get that done? Absolutely. Do they go on to beat the Seahawks? No, probably not. At the same time, though, you'd probably be put in the same area as Joe Burrow because he's made one. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, number 2 and number 3 for athletes who need to win a title. Number 1, Connor McDavid.
I knew he'd be on the list.
The NHL hockey player of the Edmonton Oilers, who now Mike Babcock is going to end up being his head coach. With good luck with that, Dan. I mean, that's going to be interesting. I mean, the fact that Edmonton has gotten to the point where they even have to have the discussion of do you potentially trade Connor McDavid is absolutely asinine, and it's just a testament to the fact they haven't been able to get it done. They've made 2
the final.
Stanley Cup finals back-to-back years, but here's the thing. This guy's the prince who was promised. He is the prodigal son. He is the guy that there are very smart hockey people in my life who would give you the opinion that they believe Connor McDavid is the greatest hockey player ever, that there has never been somebody who was singularly as good as hockey as Connor McDavid. If those conversations are going to uphold, if you are going to really ever have that conversation with any sort of merit, that man needs to win a title more than any athlete in sport, because he is the best player and he is supposed to be the hockey superstar. But if you don't have titles, it's hard for people who don't care about the sport to really look at you that way. And yeah, can I be real with you? Him winning the silver medal didn't help him either. It would have been.
Yeah.
It was great that he scored that goal in the 4 Nations and broke the heart of the USA.
This show in Edmonton right now, definitely oh, Connor had a bad year, don't you know?
This show is. If we were in Edmonton, we would hold the silver medal against him. We would say that is a mark against his legacy.
Not good enough.
They lost in the first round, and he lost the silver, and he won the silver medal.
Yep.
It has not been a good year for that guy, even though I am one of those people who think he's the greatest singular hockey player of all time.
Wow.
He hasn't won a title. He's got to win one more than anyone else. All right. Amazing Daniel brings a good one out. Trout, here's my thing. I think his time has passed.
He's so far from a title that I didn't even consider putting him on the list. But
No.
yeah, I mean, I guess so.
But once again,
Bryce Harper also not on your list.
But baseball is just kind of one of those sports where do you really need a title to be one of the greatest ever? You could still not win a title and everybody will love you. You know?
It's certainly the least ring culture sport.
By far. All righty, let's go ahead. Let's take a break. We'll talk a little bit about college football. I'll ask a question, and then I'll answer that question at 1:20. But I want to get that question out there. We'll have our wacky guest at 1. We'll come back to my question at 1:20. How does that sound to you?
It's a question sandwich.
It is a question sandwich, and maybe we'll have another sandwich in between this break here at Werner Park as the Omaha Storm Chasers lead the Las Vegas Aviators 3-0 here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Bottom of the third here. Brett Squires. Squires squirts one past the third baseman for a hustle double.
Nice wordplay.
Thank you. Hey, don't forget, if you want to contact us today, 429-551-1620, the Prairie Fly Casino Zone hotline, whether you want to call us or you want to text with us. Been reading text throughout the day. Also, let's go to the Zone Twitter feed, which is powered by Liquid Trucking. Our friend Pesky Blues, one of the best in the business. Justin tweets at us at Matt McMedia. The majority of the Iowa players that got in trouble placed a single bet on Iowa women's basketball team in the national championship game. I have to reread, I guess, on the Iowa gambling scandal. If I remember, there was 33 athletes, I believe, was about the number that got hung up in those gambling allegations, and then punishments were handed out. John Walker talked about a football player that he knew that went to Oklahoma State. Obviously, a lot of people here know Aaron Eulis, the point guard for Nebraska basketball. The Brendan Sorsby conversation, just about him being granted the injunction and the potential that he will play at Texas Tech this season, despite the fact that he's broken basically a golden rule of sport, gambling on your own team, has caused a lot of people to be up in arms and, to quote Colin Cowherd, to catastrophize everything that is going on in college sports, which I agree to a certain extent, even though I think that this is a super, super serious decision that was made by Ken Curry, the judge in the Lubbock County Court. Here's my question. A lot of people outraged, a lot of people, throwing out hyperbolic statements about how they don't like college football anymore, how they don't want to watch, so on and so forth. Here's my question. Is college football too big to fail? Can anything kill college football? Can anything really deteriorate it to the point where you, me, anyone listening in the car, or people listening on the YouTube Zone TV page, any of you who like college football, can anything really happen to the point where you don't tune in every single week? Is college football too big to fail? I think it is. I think it is.
Probably, yeah.
Now, we have seen in American society that there were establishments that believed they were too big to fail, and yet they still failed.
Yeah,
right? I mean, you could make the argument there is no such thing as too big to fail.
Even if Sorsby plays, he's still one player on one team, and then, okay, they're the villain. They're the Black Hats.
1,000,000%.
And, you're going to watch to want them to lose, right?
So, whoa, PC. All right, thank you for the brat. So nice of PC Flatcat. No more corn dogs.
Connor got us banned from corn dogs.
All right, we got to talk. We have to talk to Marty Cordero. This is an absolute catastrophe. All right, stew with that question in your car and at home. Is college football too big to fail? We'll talk about that after we interview our wacky guest here on Wacky Guest Wednesday on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
It's Wacky Guest Wednesday. Middays with Matt. Who is our guest? We don't know. It could be anybody. It could be an actress. It could be a singer. Could be your mom. A-O, let's go. They're in the green room. Who's our guest? We don't know. They're all booked up and they're ready to go. Hey, Josh, choose a guest. Make them interesting. Don't screw this up, or this will suck. It's Wacky Guest Wednesday. Middays with Matt. Who is our guest?
We don't know. Here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network, a Wacky Guest Wednesday on Middays with Matt. It's 1 o'clock. That means Josh Hodson, who is joining the show, my friend.
Well, we got the College World Series coming up. We'll be grinding it out at the Omaha Baseball Village with some of our friends from Central Nebraska. We've introduced you to Matt Williams. Last week we had on Brian Gallagher. I would have been right for the record. And this week, the third member of our Central Nebraska team, the final member, not ranking them in any way, shape, or form.
I've heard more about this man than any of them.
Oh, really?
I will say that.
Interesting. It is Tyler. I believe it's pronounced Cavalli.
Cavalli.
He'll tell us.
It's a beautiful
It's
last
a strong
name.
last
name. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good. And you did get the last name correct as well. So kudos to you guys. That was good. Either research or you guessed. Either way, it doesn't matter. You got it right.
Well, I have to ask, is it an Italian last name? It's a strong Italian last name, if it's the case. I'm from Chicago, Tyler. I know a lot of strong Italian last names. That would be one of them.
Then you are correct. It is a very strong Italian name. We'll go with that. I haven't used strong Italian before with that, but we will now.
Now, Tyler, I have to be honest with you because, you know, we're going to be working with a lot of Central Nebraska. You guys out in Central Nebraska, you guys are all phenomenal broadcasters. I had to do my own recon. I had to do my own research. I had to make my own scouting reports to find your strengths, your weaknesses, things that we can talk about. How does it feel being a Colorado sport fan right now? You are a fan of the Denver Broncos. I believe you've tweeted multiple times about being a fan of the Colorado Rockies. I believe you were at a Colorado Rocky game recently. What is the yin and yang of being a Colorado sport fan, considering the fact that you have teams on the opposite sides of the spectrum right now?
Well, see, here's the issue, and I guess some of the fun part as well, and I guess maybe in a way it keeps me grounded, right? Because we've had a lot of success recently with the Broncos, with the Nuggets, who are just so disappointing this last spring. They should have went farther than they did. And then the Avalanche, right? I mean, they obviously were so fun. And I would say also disappointing. And that's not just being a fan. I think they would say disappointing end for them. And then I have my beloved Rockies, who were the first true professional sports team that I love. And they have been knocking for years and years and years. Yeah. So if you start, I feel like if you start that way and then you have great winning teams around it, it's even more sweet.
How old were you during Rocktober?
That's good. I was in high school. I was a sophomore or junior in high school, and I begged my parents to go, but tickets were very, very expensive. So I said, next time they're there, I'm going. I don't care how much the dang tickets are, we're going.
Tyler, you are the Central Nebraska Today news director. Honestly, just to educate Josh and I, what is the big news in Central Nebraska going on right now? What are kind of what is your day-to-day looking like? What are the big hot button topics that you're reporting on over at Y102 and Hits 106 and KGFW as well?
Well, I would say it changes on the day, right? It's kind of shocking how much news that develops from day to day. And so whether last night we just had these nasty storms that rolled through, maybe got you guys as well. There's tree limbs down everywhere.
We just missed it. We got very lucky.
We have this
Tyler.
dome over our city.
We really do.
That protects us from all bad things.
Bill Randby was on Sleeves roll-up watch last night, and he was flirting with it. But it just missed us. How are you? Are you guys good over there?
We're good. Look, nobody got significantly hurt or even hurt that I know of. But it's funny you mentioned the dome because Kearney, a lot of the times, is also in a dome too, but not last night. Last night we just got smacked right in the face, and it was one maybe we probably deserved again because we're in the dome, and so there were tree limbs down, nasty stuff happening everywhere. But I think everybody's good. So that's the highlight, I would say, as of this morning that the team is following up on and trying to get more information with.
Now, Tyler, I want to talk to you about Husker sports here. And you guys, we talked to Brian about Husker sports, we talked to Matt about Husker sports. Obviously, you guys have a lot of, Central Nebraska teams that you guys are looking out for, Central Nebraska prospects that you guys do a great job of reporting on, but you also do a phenomenal job keeping up with the Huskers. This is the best overall Husker season you've seen since when, or is this the best overall Husker season you've ever seen?
Overall ever that I have ever seen. And so here's something else that goes back to your initial question about like the Colorado stuff. I'm from Colorado, so that's why I have all these like love for the Colorado sports team. It's funny because I didn't care about all the college stuff because pro sports were just the bee's knees, if you will, right? And then I moved to Nebraska.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would know
Same
that.
way,
Like
same
it's
thing.
in your face. It's in your face everywhere. You just have to embrace it. And so for me, I moved in the early 2000s to Nebraska. And at that point, Nebraska football was still kind of Nebraska football, right? At least competing for conference championships, Big 12, and then eventually into the Big 10. So, it's funny, as I think you guys have talked about in your show, and to a certain degree, everybody is, that it's so odd that football isn't even being mentioned all that much because everybody else is so dang good, which is so fun as well.
Now that's so interesting. I didn't know about you, Tyler, that you grew up in Colorado, and like I said, I went through the same thing as as somebody who grew up in Chicago. It's all pro sports teams all the time. Illinois and Northwestern are the only college teams, but those teams are put on the back burner. And so, it kind of, you're right. It's in your face and you have to adapt to it. I have to ask you though, what was the moment you got hooked? What was the moment you were like, I'm in on this college sports, or I'm in on the Huskers? Was there a game? For me, it was when Nebraska baseball played Arkansas back in 2021. When baseball took on Arkansas, I was heavily invested. I was like, they got me, and I'm here, and I'm in it for life now. Did you have that moment? Did you have that game, have that sport that happened to you too?
I think it was basically when my friends held me down and just maybe watch infinite amounts of Husker athletics that I had no choice at that point, right?
I
was tortured. I was tortured to acknowledge and like Huskers. So I don't know if I have like a specific time frame or a game or a moment.
Sure.
It was obviously football. Obviously, I'm being a big football guy that got me hooked. And I early on understood the hype and why everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So it was definitely football, but early 2000s that definitely was able to get in.
Yeah, and it's funny you say understanding the hype. Like I remember when I first went to Nebraska, everybody always talked about the Kool-Aid. And everybody always talked about like how every year you think Nebraska's going to win the national championship. And I remember thinking, these guys are crazy. Look at the roster. They're not going to be very good this year. What's going on?
What if they did, though?
Couple of years later, you're there banging on the drum saying that the 2022 football team is going to win 8 games, right? It flips on you on a dime. Here's a great question for you, Tyler, and maybe this is a topic that hopefully you and I get to do at the Omaha Baseball Village. Who is the next Husker athletics team to win a national championship? Any sport. Next one to win a national championship, according to Tyler Cavalli, is who?
I'm going to go with probably the one that stares me in the face the most. I think most people, probably volleyball, right? That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And probably because that's what's next. That's coming up. Maybe the next actual sport event that's coming up. But it's hard to say anybody at this point is built for that championship run more than Husker volleyball.
Yeah. Now, all right, this is kind of a two-parter question here. What do you think is more likely in the next 5 seasons? Nebraska football makes the college football playoff, or Nebraska basketball makes an Elite 8?
Oh, easy. Nebraska basketball makes an Elite 8.
Okay, here's the second part. Did you ever think you would answer that? Did you ever think that it would be easy for you to say Nebraska basketball making the Elite Eight?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't. And I don't think a lot of people would say that, right? But, like, let's be honest and truthful about where we're at the moment with everything. And I think at this moment in time, Nebraska men's basketball is more set to make a run. And after tasting that success, we all know, being sports guys, once those teams and those players get the taste of it and understand what it takes to grind out through the March Madness, all you do is you just take it to the next level if you have the right pieces and stay healthy and all those great things like luck. But men's basketball is the one that's going to go further at this point.
So you're
both?
with
Can they both do it?
KGFW.
Is that a thing?
No, they can't both.
They do allow that.
If if it turns into a 2014 playoff, Tyler, I think they both can. Yes, I think they both.
I'm still very hesitant on that too, if I'm being honest.
Really, you're hesitant on Nebraska football consistently making a college football playoff at 24 teams?
Oh yeah. You're not
really. I know, but there's a difference between the resources, like what they should be able to do, and the current administration. If you're somebody who doesn't trust the current administration, being Matt Rule and his staff of coaches, I could see why you would say, hey, I don't know if they can make a 2014 playoff. But just my perspective, Tyler, is for how much they put in NIL, for how much they put in high school recruiting, and for just facilities, resources, coaching costs, player development, like they should be able to be one of the top 24 teams in the country. Right? Being a top 24 team in the country would be winning eight games in the Big Ten, would be having an over 500 record in the Big Ten. I feel like that's attainable for Nebraska.
See, that's the thing is the key word is should be able to. But the issue is haven't quite got to that hump, right? And that's for, I think, a variety of reasons. That is a whole different topic and discussion. But I think at this juncture, they can barely even stay in the top 25. So when you say top 24, it's like, all right, well, by the time they get there, because as we have seen last numerous years, end of the schedule has been brutal for Nebraska. By then, you're up to top 25. Yeah, so it's been tough.
Yeah, it's been really tough. And I think if you were to give me a magic wand, Tyler, and say, wave it and solve one problem, it would be Husker football in November. It really would be. It really would be. November comes around, man. You couldn't be more spot on. November comes around, and it just seems like regardless of who is the coach, it all falls apart. And it's one of those things where you've been searching for the answer, and so many people have searched for the answer, and it seems like they can't find it.
Well, and the thing about that, too, is it's more excruciating because those games, they're not like most of them are blowouts. They're games that Nebraska has leads late in games in the second half and lose by one score. The one score thing is just, it's a phenomenon at this point Nebraska just can't get out of the way with. And so that even makes it worse because then you're like, all right, well, we could win this game, and then that one, and that one. And then you always see L's. It's tough.
Absolutely. It does suck. It sucks. Plain and simple, it sucks. Here's the one thing, though. The season did not end the way that you wanted it to last year, especially with those 3 blowouts. I will say this, Tyler. That's the one problem they were able to solve. That was the one thing. They won the close game against Maryland. They won the close game against Michigan State. They won the close game against Cincinnati and Northwestern. Out of all of the things that did kind of get solved, they did figure that out just a little bit.
Well, and that's the thing what happens in sports, right? Typically, if you have, like, you see teams one year, you see in college, NFL, whatever it may be, that they have just a nasty year where they have all these one-loss games. And typically, just because of the fate of sports or whatever it may be, it flips the other way and you win those games. So you are correct that finally finding a way to win those games is just there's other games that they're not finding a way to either continue to win those or winning them. And I don't know the solution overall, but Nebraska's getting closer, right? Like, look, there is progress. I think everybody can agree with that. It's just slower than I think a lot of people want.
Well, that's the thing. What type of game are you referring to? The type of game you're referring to is the top 25 game. You know, they haven't won that game in 11 years. That's the exact type of game you're talking about.
could have beat USC. I get there's different things. People get hurt. Raiola gets hurt. All those things, right? But it just goes back to, man, you're at home. You have all these things happening. You're actually leading, and then it just goes the opposite way.
Yeah, it seems like, Tyler, it's gone that opposite way in a lot of those games. Luke Lindenmeyer wide open in the end zone against Illinois goes over his head, right? Hey, Adrian Martinez leading the a drive against Michigan, who is one of the best teams in the country. Fumbles the ball. Probably should have been forward progress. Stop. You're playing Michigan State on the road. They kicked it to the wrong side of the field, right? It's just one thing after another, just brutal loss after brutal loss. Tyler Cavalli of Central Nebraska, KGFW. All right, Tyler, before we let you go, there's a lot of, we try and keep ourselves a little bit educated, things going on in Kearney. I know that Kearney High got a new varsity football coach. I know that I just saw UNK Lopers hype video for football and all that type of stuff. Just in Central Nebraska in general, what's the big sports story in your opinion? I asked Brian this question. What is the one thing you're really honed on in, whether it be GI, Central Nebraska, Kearney? What are you really focused on in terms of your realm of sports over there?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I would say, look, there's a lot of area high schools, and I'll say for football in particular, we can just focus on that. Man, they're getting to those state title games, right? I mean, they're getting there. The issue is some of them aren't winning them, but I feel like you're starting to see more regular appearances with that. Now, here's also a different phenomenon and a whole different topic with this whole thing. You're also seeing a lot of those top dudes in football in particular, just using that as an example, leave and go to those schools in Omaha, and then that creates a whole different thing. So that's a weird deal in its sense as well. But I think Nebraska football, as you guys know, like, look, it's great, but it's good to see some of these teams represent a little bit as well.
Tyler, you are the man. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to working with you, having you on on our airwaves here at 1620 The Zone, working you at the College World Series. Hopefully there's an if necessary game, and you and I can work with each other at the OBV. We will see. Thank you so much for joining us on a Wacky Guest Wednesday here on Middays with Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. See you guys next week.
You have a good one, Tyler. Tyler Cavalli of KGFW.
Strong Italian name.
Strong Italian last name. I actually looked at his banners on Twitter. Cavalli Cafe, which serves cannolis.
Whoa.
So there you go. It's Tyler Cavalli. That's just
Yeah.
That's the type of guy, he didn't need a broadcaster name. They go, hey, Tyler, you want a broadcaster name? He goes, what's a broadcaster name?
I already got one.
Baby. Tyler's awesome. I've heard nothing but incredible things about Tyler from multiple people around the Central Nebraska area.
New friends making the drive in.
Of course, including our big boss man Allen.
What
a great guy. Always talking very highly of Tyler and all of those guys, Matt Williams and Brian Gallagher, who all have been wacky guests on Wacky Guest Wednesday. Yeah. So we've done the Trinity of Central Nebraska radio.
Don't tell us these are new people, because that means you admit to not listening to the show.
Well, some people would willingly admit to that. Anyway,
idiots.
Dummies. Do you know who's got a dummy? The Omaha Storm Chasers. They have us out here at Werner Park as Omaha currently leads the Las Vegas Aviators 3-1 in the top of the fifth inning. At the dish is Joshua Cordoa Grauer for the Aviators, who takes ball one on the inside. Who's pitching right now?
Great question. I can't read that small.
I can't. That's so small. We need some bigger font here as Grauer offers up at one high in the zone, fouls it back 1-1 to the count, 2 outs here. I believe his last name is Alvarez, if I'm not mistaken. I do not know though, so I will not say.
We don't want to speculate.
No, we do not want to speculate who's pitching right in front of us as the 1-1 count, 2 outs here. Top of the fifth, 2 on for the Aviators as that is inside. Good block behind the plate. Stops the runners from moving up 90 feet, and so the count will go to 2-1, 2 outs on a fairly windy day here. Wind blowing out directly to right center field. We've seen 2 home runs go to right field today. You get that ball up towards right field, you might have a shot at sending one out here. The Aviators would love that. Pick off back to second. Bounces off the second baseman's chest, and the runners will move up 90 feet. So now the Aviators in business, second and third, with 2 out here for Grauer. Stibbs goes, Matt is wearing aviators. Is he rooting for the bad guy?
Address the allegations.
I am not rooting for the aviators.
I drove one of those trucks from the movie Twister here today. I'm a storm chaser.
Same old man and the same old man and the same old. Ain't no love in Oklahoma. As the pitch is inside. This guy's got to stop throwing to the inside part of the plate. He's thrown 3 balls there.
Gonna want to
back to back to back. Well, yeah, 3-1 is the count with 2 outs. Grauer at the dish. Base is open. Second and third are occupied by Aviators as that pitch is once again on the inside part of the plate for ball 4. He should have listened to me, Josh Hodson.
Ducks on the pond.
You know what? I am not rooting for the Aviators, but I am rooting to take Nicholas Batter's job, which is why I'm now announcing the Omaha Storm Chasers game for one more batter.
It's an alt cast. They're very popular. Pat McAfee does one like 4 times a week.
Are you going to go to the Blatt to see that man at all? Are you going to go to that zoo?
No, I have a job on Friday.
God, there will be 2 zoos in Omaha, one at the Blatt and one at the Henry Dorley, as that is hit right up the middle. The shortstop will grab it, throw it over to first base, and the Storm Chasers
gets out of the jam.
Get out of the inning. 2 hits, 1 walk, no runs for the Aviators. 3 to run. The Storm Chasers lead as the meat of the lineup. Coming up next here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Get a break, Jake.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Alrighty, we are here at Werner Park, Middays with Matt. No crossover today, by the way, with USC. They have a Taste Test Wednesday with Arby's. So congratulations to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. They will be having plenty of awesome things from Arby's to eat. Don't forget about the Summer Sizzle giveaway. Enter at 1620thezone.com for a chance to win 13 weeks of free combos at Arby's. You could get
now that's a prize.
A beef and cheddar, or a classic beef sandwich, or a mozzarella stick, or a curly fry, or a chicken cordon bleu.
Oh, yeah.
Corbin Bleu, by the way. Haven't seen him in a while. Is he doing anything new?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't know.
By the way, the Cars is getting more popularity for it, re-releasing in September.
I saw Timmy V talking about it yesterday.
I mean, I'm telling you, there are more and more people who are getting hyped for the Cars re-release in September. I've been thinking about. You told me that you think there's going to be a special popcorn bucket.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to get that.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Real quick, we are going to talk a little bit about this topic, but I do want to read you a quote from Joey McGuire that has just hit the Twitter, the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed, if one might say. Texas Tech coach Joey McGuire says Brendan Sorsby returning for Week 3 against Houston after his suspension is a quote-unquote stretch. McGuire continues, quote, he's recovering from an addiction. I've sat down with this young man multiple times, and what he's going through and what he's been through is serious. So according to Joey McGuire, the head coach of Texas Tech football, it is a quote-unquote stretch that Sorsby returns after his 2-game suspension due to his gambling addiction, which is serious. I wonder, and this is where we are in terms of college football, we should play a game called Is It Genuine or Are You Backpedaling? Because I feel like we are just constantly doing that with whether it be commissioners or executive directors or coaches or players. Are you being genuine? Or are you just backpedaling from the thing you shouldn't have been involved with in the first place? Is Joey McGuire genuinely saying, hey, this kid, the addiction he's going through is legitimately serious, and even if he is available to play, we don't know if he will be mentally available to play? Or is this just kind of the thing that you should say? Or
can you imagine
communicate?
The sports radio shows in Lubbock today trying to decipher and read the tea leaves of that quote.
As somebody,
what do you think he means by that?
As somebody who worked the phones for multiple radio stations for over a year, I am so happy I'm not in Lubbock. I could not imagine having this.
What tarnation does Joey think he's doing?
This is Pete in Frisco. Wait, what the hell? This NCAA. I mean, they don't even have any power anymore. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this young kid, I've placed some bets in the past, all right? I've had my fair share of battles with addiction, but you know what? If I could spin a football, you bet your ass I'd find a judge to let me play. That's how I see it. What's the difference between us and Georgia? We're just letting a kid who put a couple bets play. They're letting kids who driving cars all willy-nilly cross Athens play. They're no better than us.
I'm impressed with your ability to do that without swearing.
Can I tell you that as somebody who works he didn't unnecessary jump. I'm not crediting the left fielder for that nice catch. He did not need to jump like that.
I don't think he did.
Anyway, I can imitate callers pretty well, just considering the fact that I've had my fair share of run-ins of Chase from the South Side and Joey G from Melrose Park, who would love to call in and just run amok on ESPN 1000. So, yeah, we talked about 2 areas of the country, or 2 areas of North America we would not like to be on live radio, Edmonton and Lubbock, Texas. So Joey McGuire says Brendan Sorsby returning for Week 3 after his suspension is a stretch. Other news, Trey Taylor, a 5-star, and Nehemiah Ambati, the 4-star defensive lineman from Minnesota, committing to Nebraska, the first 4-star D lineman in Nebraska's 2027 recruiting class, which is still hovering around the 15th to 20th
position in terms of the 2027 recruiting rankings. Okay, I asked a question before. We had Tyler Cavalli, strong Italian last name, join us here on Middays with Matt for Wacky Guest Wednesday. I asked you the question, is college football too big to fail? Is college football too popular to die? Is anything that anybody does in college football not means to an end for its popularity to massively decrease? Here's what I'll say. Let's look at some of the things that people don't like about college football, right? People don't like that you can get a prospect, develop that prospect, make them into a great baseball player, basketball player, football player, volleyball player. You can make that prospect into something that not a lot of teams thought they would become. And just a couple of years later, teams that didn't give a rat's ass about that prospect when they were a lowly 3-star prospect come in and poach your best player. And that player is given gobsmacks of money to no longer pay their loyalty back to the people who initially believed in them. People do not like the mercenaries in college sports. People do not like it that you have players who have been on 4 teams in 4 years, or players who've been on 3 teams in 4 years, or maybe even some players who've been on 5 teams in 4 years. People do not like that. And I don't blame them. And some people might say, well, Matt, you know, this is what happens in pro sports all the time. Teams draft prospects, and those prospects become great players. And then when those players hit free agency, they go and get their money. They go and play for a different team. They are poached by some of the best teams, whether it be because they have a lot of salary cap or because they're winners. That happens all the time. Right, Matt? What are you talking about? There's so many different players in pro sports that are on so many different teams in years. Russell Westbrook went from the Thunder to the Rockets to the Clippers to the Wizards to the Nuggets to the Kings. That happens in pro sports all the time, jumping across teams. You shouldn't be upset about that when it comes to college sports. Here's the thing. What made college sports incredible was not that it was a lighter version of pro sports. What made college sports incredible was the unique connection that pro sports could not give you. It was the unique connection between fan and school. It was the unique connection between alumni and university, right? And that connection, because of the current state of college sports is in, continues to get strained. And not only strained from a moral and ethical principle, that connection doesn't get strained because of cases like Charles Bediako and Trinidad Chambliss, and in this case, Brendan Sorsby. It's not just that connection between your team and who you are gets broken because of all of the hoopla that's going around in macro college sports. That strain also happens financially. Financially from the people that you affiliate yourself with, because we are in an arms race for money right now when it comes to college sports. We have multiple universities trying their best to get as much money as humanly possible to pay their players for certain sports. And currently right now, colleges across the country are trying to figure out new and creative ways to get the money out of your pocket into their pocket. The University of Nebraska is going to make massive renovations to Memorial Stadium. And yes, part of those renovations are to make Memorial Stadium more comfortable, is to make Memorial Stadium a better place to watch a football game. Those renovations are also being made, though, to add restaurants, to add clubs, to add premium seating, to add experiences that are going to do what? Take the money out of your pocket and put more into their pocket. Hell, Creighton men's basketball season ticket holders are going to have to pay basically a competitive balance tax, on their tickets in order for Creighton to admittingly keep up with the spending in athletics. So, yeah, there is the factor that your relationship with college sports is being drained emotionally because of all the BS that's going on. But I do worry as well that not only are fans being drained emotionally by all the crap, but they're also being drained financially, right? And John and USC has this awesome promo that compares college sports having to pay for your grandmother's meal. I could not agree more.
I heard it this morning, and I've heard it a bunch of times, and every time I've gone, this is a great point.
It is so good because this is what we talk about. What is different between pro sport and college sport? I described it as kind of the mom and pop feel, right? You just felt more comfortable with college sport. You were looked at as a value member of the fan base because because they need you, because interest, capacity, donor money all mattered. College sports needed to treat you better than pro sports because you know what? They relied on you more. They needed you more. The popularity of a program drove programs into success. Pro sports teams do not look at fans like that. Pro sports teams look at fans as consumers, look at fans as a number. They look at fans not as somebody who went to this university and who we care deeply about, and we have to make sure that we have a great relationship with them, because if we don't, it'll lead to us not being competitive enough. No. Do you think the Miami Marlins really give a damn about how many fans are going to their games? Nobody's been going to those games for years. They know that the only way they'll come is if they're good, and whether or not they're good is up to whether or not they won't be incompetent. But for college athletics, treating your fans was more than just treating them as a number, right? It was treating them as best as possible so they come back. Well, now that you are in the position that you're in college sports, universities have to treat their fans a little bit more like a number. They have to treat their fans a little bit more as a dollar sign. They have to treat their fans more as consumers, because that's the game you have to play in order to be competitive. That's the game you have to play in order to win. And I worry about that. I worry as we make the transition from college athletic departments treating their fans more like pro sport departments would treat their fans, because the sport is becoming more professional. What happens in that strain? What happens in that transition? What is the reaction of fans?
I worry locally because it's already wearing, like, every day. It's a new story. It's a new thing. It's a new thing you've never had to deal with before as a fan. I worry that if the team keeps being not competitive, not championship caliber, if the people who don't go to the game every week, who haven't made, every Saturday I'm at the tailgate, I'm in Memorial Stadium, if they're just going to tune out completely because it's so hard to keep track of, and it's not worth, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, so to speak, because the team isn't as competitive as they used to.
Josh, you're kind of describing a bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like as of right now, in the current structure that we're in, what if just some donors, after doing this year after year, year after year, year after year, and being disappointed, and this is just a Nebraska thing, this is across the country.
Sure.
What if donors across the country, after being disappointed year after year, just go, you know what? No.
This isn't the thing I fell in love with. I don't feel like giving it money.
You know what?
Anymore.
Like, the ROI isn't there.
Yeah.
I'd rather buy a jet ski. I'd rather buy a lake house. I'd rather buy a boat. Maybe I'd rather put my money into stocks as opposed to giving it to an 18-year-old so he could play defensive lineman just for him to never see a snap and transfer to Georgia.
Maybe write a check and help multiple 18-year-olds and give to like a community center or something.
Or scholarship money. Whoa.
Interesting.
So that's the thing. Like, do I think college sports is too big to fail? Yes. But I am worried, not only just the emotional strain on college sport fans, but the financial strain. College sports fans have to pay a lot more because of this stuff. And it is literally written within the proof of Creighton men's basketball. And I'm not dogging on Creighton. I'm not dogging on Marcus Blossom. I'm not dogging on the athletic department. You got to do what you got to do, right? You got to adapt the way you have to adapt. You got to get money somehow, right? Because that's the game that we're playing. But when you do things like that, it creates a strain. It creates a disconnect. It makes people feel a way that they didn't feel before, and that feeling is not positive. So
and even like Joe Sixpack, who doesn't cut huge checks to the university, there's so much other stuff at Nebraska right now that is good. It would be very easy to tune out football in the fall.
Here's another thing, and I've always wondered this, and it kind of happened with Texas Tech just a little bit. What does $1 million do for you? What does $1 million do for you in football? What does $1 million really buy you in football? It doesn't really. Can I be real? I mean, it gets you a nice player,
an offensive lineman.
But in the grand scheme of things, like, you need more than just $1 million to make an impact. What does $1 million do in softball?
A pitcher that is talked about for years.
What does I mean, it's a little bit less now. I think you really could have made this argument before this offseason. But, like, what does $2 million do in college basketball? It does a hell of a lot more than it does in football.
Yeah.
Right? What does $2 million do in volleyball? Good God. Right? What does $2 million do in wrestling? So it's one of those things where, you know, to your point, and this is a hypothetical, but we've seen financial support come in through other sports for Nebraska. People want their money to be effective.
Right. We saw that with basketball. People were like, no, I would like to fund the basketball team.
I'll tell you this right now. I was told by somebody that they were basically passing around the hat at Oklahoma City.
Right.
You know, that run was going on, and there were a lot of middle-aged donors.
This feels good, doesn't it? You want to keep it going? You want to feel like this forever? Here, pass the hat around.
And you know what? They did pretty damn good retaining the guys they retained and going out and getting some of the guys they got. It's a whole – I mean, it's a massive conversation to be had, right, about where does money go and where do you give it to and how is it spent. And so the question, is college football too big to fail? Yes. Yes, it is. It's too big to fail. Are there some very, very concerning things? And is the shift between the relationship between fans and athletic department going to take quite the ride over the next couple of years? And it already has taken quite the ride over the last couple of years. Yeah, it is. Am I worried about how that ride is going to go? You bet your ass I am.
Certainly some things that you can look at maybe in hindsight as, oh, that was an inflection point. Oh, that was an inflection point. Oh, okay, there's where it really drove off a cliff.
Yeah, I mean, Michael brought up a great point yesterday, too. It's a hell of a lot easier to watch a lot of these games on my ass than to go and drive all the way to Lincoln, to pay for parking, to pay for food, to pay for beer, to wait in line, to be hot, to get a clear bag, you know, like all that.
Allow me to steal a phrase from you. Can I be real with you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why any of you do it. I don't know why you go to the game. I don't know what it offers you. You can't see as well. You don't get the analysis. You don't. It's uncomfortable. You're walking. You're parking in a terrible spot. You're spending gobs of money. I don't know why any of you do it.
Can I tell you why I do it?
Yeah, please.
Because I went with my dad.
Okay.
Like I was. That's what you did. Here's the thing, though. The kids who are being born now, the kids who are 5 years old now, if you're a parent, right, you have less of a reason to bring your kids to games just in terms of the comfortability and financial perspective of it, don't you? Isn't that kind of what you're communicating here?
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have more kids, if you have more people who are not willing to go to the games, that means inherently you have more kids who aren't going to go to the games. And when you have more kids who aren't like me, who grow up going to the games where that's what you do, then in the future, it trickles down and it becomes worse and worse for you.
And you have more and more first national children's walks at Memorial Stadium.
And hey, I know that there are parents right now in the car who obviously you might be taking your kids to games. I'm not talking about you.
You're great parents.
I'm more so, and you're not a bad parent, by the way, if you don't take your kids to a game. I'm not saying that either, right? I kind of understand if you don't want to take your family to a game. It's way cheaper and more comfortable not to do it. Let's just be real. Let's be honest.
Let's order some pizza. Let's order some wings. Let's watch the game together as a family. I can watch Alabama, Georgia in the commercials of the Nebraska game.
Josh,
it's air conditioned in my house. The heat is on in my house.
I can watch 5 games at once now.
Yeah.
Right? When you're at a football game, you don't have to be wondering, I wonder what I was doing, because that affects us. You can just watch the Iowa game.
I can send a text from my chair. You know what I can't do? Post a photo on social media from the stadium, even though every year they go, new and improved stadium Wi-Fi that never works.
Hell of a segment. Great talk. I appreciate you greatly. One last segment here from Werner Park before we wrap it up and send it to USC here on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Alrighty. Hey, we want to thank our great sponsor for our email, the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox. Equitable Bank, they take banking personally. They always pick them on the first ring. Josh Hodson, what are we watching tonight?
We're watching the NBA Finals. It's Game 4. Knicks lead the series 2-1. It's back at MSG tonight, 7:30 on ABC. Somebody from the Wu-Tang Clan will perform at halftime.
Who?
I don't know. They haven't said. Baseball on our TV's quadruple header today on MLB Network. Yanks and Guards right now, followed by Reds, Padres, Phillies, Blue Jays, and Astros, Angels, your nightcap. And WNBA, there's one game on TV tonight on USA Network at 9 o'clock. The Sparks of Los Angeles are in Seattle to take on the Storm.
Why do you say it like that?
Because I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is
the
the Seattle
okay.
Storm.
9 o'clock on USA. Matt, do we have a dog of the day?
Hit it, Janice.
Let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you got to love dogs, right?
Attaboy, Janny. Easy bet tonight. Same bet as it was on Monday, which we won real U.S. American dollars. San Antonio Spurs plus 113 to win the game.
The road team continues to win.
It's going to be 2-2. It's going to be simple. Wemby's going to come out, have a lot of energy. He's going to mush the face of Jalen Brunson once again.
That guy is.
I love him.
He plays with passion.
Yeah. That we're all going to love him until they lose this series and he starts crying incessantly, and then we'll be like, "You baby." That's probably what will end up happening.
He's running a course to be the villain of this.
I
league.
think he just needs to smoke a cigarette outside of
Well,
Madison
he's French.
Square Garden. He is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He needs to lean into being French. What is it like, Nick Grohl? We do something cool, like a piece of chocolate coffee and a cigarette. Something cool like a cigarette. So something cool like Middays with Matt occurred today here at Werner Park. Thank you for the Omaha Storm Chasers for letting us broadcast here. Marty Cordero, one of the best in the business. Appreciate him letting us broadcast here and always coming on the radio station. We appreciate him so much. We appreciate all of you for listening to 1620 The Zone Radio Network here in Omaha and 97.7 The Zone in Central Nebraska. USC coming up next on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.